Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Touchshriek, and we're going to be playing some Dwarf Fortress today. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to the Plains of Enchantment. This is our world. Our fortress is Beguiledbastions of Beers. And as you can see, if you're new to the stream, we are down here in this bottom right-hand corner where that blinky yellow X is. It is a very safe area. There's not a lot of goblins or stuff around us. So we're hoping to do some big digs and some fun stuff here today. I've got my coffee. It's still nice and hot, and we're ready to go and get dwarfy. All right, so let's get to it. So here's our fort. We're up in the sky here with a nice overview. We'll go down the fort as we get started here. So going down, we can see here this is our current entryway. Up at the top here, we've got some guard towers, some guard towers here and here, overlooking our beautiful frozen river. Some nice areas for some livestock over here, some guard dogs over here, and the main entrance to the fort, which is centered around a central staircase idea. Lately, we have been building. We're going down the fort here as we go. We've been building a grand entrance, a grand new entrance to the fort that's going to be a little more defensible, a little bit more dwarfy in its grandeur. And it starts right here. I'm going to zoom in a bit so we can see what we're doing. There we go. And so we've got this. This is the top level of it. We've got a row of gem windows here. We've got lead statues up relating to the fortress above the bridge that is right down here. And this is where any visitors or any trade caravans are going to come in to our fort. But this is not the main purpose of it. The big part of this is just how far down this goes. So we've been digging down. It's going down about 13 levels to the bottom here, and eventually this is going to go all the way down and be open to the water. We've got about 2 levels to go, and I'm really excited to get her started. We're going to finish. I'm hoping we're going to finish this dig today. I'm really excited. Oh shoot! I'm really excited to get this dig finished and to get it done. Finally done. Because it is going to be. It's been a long road down. So here we go. We're going to get started. Last stream, we had a couple unfortunate deaths. To anyone who has watched the stream before, you would hopefully remember Godin. He was our noble, and he died. He went insane, unfortunately. He was very upset. He was very upset, very depressive, and he eventually ended up dying on us last stream. So he went insane, threw off all of his clothes, and crawled around the fort babbling like a child. So, which was unfortunate. I hate losing dwarves. We've got some lovely miasma here. We've got some very slobby dwarves in this fort. So I'm just gonna dump this, and I'm gonna go continue down. We've got some. The main focus of this fort is this lovely waterfall right here, which is frozen over right now, but it goes all the way from the top level all the way up here. And goes down about 18, 19 levels, something like that, past our temple, past our tavern. We've got a nice library here, beautiful temple, lots of good stuff. And the other unfortunate death was one of our legendary miners. He was also one of our founding dwarves. Unfortunately, he died. Due to a careless cave-in, digging our giant pit over there. A couple rocks hit him on the head, and so we've unfortunately lost a very, very good dwarf. We lost 2 good dwarves last stream, and it was a little heartbreaking. All right, we've got our prison area over here, and going down, we have our mayor's office complex here. bookkeeper's office, which I'm not sure. I don't think I've made that yet. So we're going to make this a bookkeeper. Bookkeeper's office. There he is. Kib. No, he needs to be a manager. Sorry, I forgot who is doing what. Who's what. So our bookkeeper needs an office. Okay, so we're going to make that our bookkeeper's office. Sorry about that. Bookkeeper's office is Kib, right? Kib, bookkeeper. There we go. Okay, and we're going to auto-assign that to our bookkeeper. Okay, continuing the tour. So this is our mayor's office, kind of the administration center, our museum, and kind of main reception area with our wells. Is here. All of our artifacts, at least the ones that are easily stealable, are here on these pedestals, along with the control room with some levers to control the various bridges we've got around here. Going down, we've got our hospital area with our chief medical dwarf's quarters next to it. Our well, which is nice because although the river freezes year-round, the well doesn't, which is nice. Our forge level here, there are 3 forges in the fort. I don't have any magma, so I'm using all wood. We've got so much wood, it's kind of absurd. This is our stoneworkers level. We've got multiple craftsdwarf workshops, multiple mason workshops, so everyone can get their work done quickly. Stone and bone storage. Going down, we get into our cloth or clothing industry. So we've got 5 clothing shops here, and then all of the looms and basic material shops down here. The reason they're down here is because our clothing industry is mostly based on wool, so we've got all of our llamas down here. We have way too many animals in this fort. We're going to be doing some culling later. We're going to be making a lot of bacon. And this is our cavern layer here, which is fully sealed off. We don't have to worry about any forgotten beasts. There's one. We have 2 of them right now. There's Simagwa Kelo Athrig, forgotten beast. He is, what is he? Actually, this guy is actually scary. Because he's a giant humanoid composed of rutile, which is a type of mineral. Spiral shell and undulates rhythmically. Beware it's deadly spittled. He has some injuries, because I'm pretty sure there was another forgotten beast here at one point in this tiny little space, which is a little hard to see. Let's zoom in so you can see it. This tiny little 4 square space is pretty much the only way that forgotten beasts can spawn into this area, and there was another one in here before this guy showed up, so they probably fought at one point. Certainly there is a troll there that is dead. Ah yes, and Sawat Pestratega. So where is that? So we have a so our old forgotten beast, his skeleton's there as well. So there was a forgotten beast fight that I missed at one point. We also recently lost our best tailor, who got beaten to death, unfortunately, due to some behavioral issues. That was an accident. I didn't mean to kill her, but oh well. All right, so our beautiful cavern layer. We've got a herd of Draltha, which are coming along nicely. So there's no end of meat in this fort. We could literally live for years on just the meat that we have in the fortress right now. Excuse me. So that is a quick rundown of the fort, of what we're doing. My hope with this, with today's stream, is that we're going to finish this giant dig, and I'm hoping that once it's done, that we're going to be able to flood it before it's the thaw. We're in the 12th month, just the end of the 12th month, coming up to our 14th year of this fortress, and hopefully it thaws out somewhere in February, or in the 2nd month. I don't know what it is on the Dwarfy calendar, but sometime in the 2nd month it thaws. So we're gonna try very hard to get this done without killing any more dwarves, because I'm done with that. I am done with killing my miners. We've lost 2 good miners in this. We've got them memorialized, actually, on our bridge here. We've carved some carvings on the bridge to commemorate them. So I'll just give you a quick view. This is the dwarf that died last stream. Engraved is a masterful Kib Uzolis rendition of the Tragedy of Excavations, an image of Lord Datan, Copperclimates the dwarf, 3 small rocks, and Vesh, the deity of death and rebirth, depicted as a rotting male dwarf. Lord Datan Copperclimates is being mutilated by the 3 rocks. Lord Datan Copperclimates is dead. Vesh is weeping. The image was commissioned by the Whiskered Whiskies, which is my local government. So I thought that was nice, so at least everyone who walks over the bridge will remember Lord Datan and his untimely death. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get these dwarves digging. Now, we have, as we've been going, we have been making sure that this is fully smoothed as well, so that it looks the best that it can. Which is why it's taken so long. If I had just made it, if I was okay with it being rough stone, it would have been done already. Oh well. Oops. There we go. Okay. Now, so what we're doing right now is I'm just designating a channel. So we're going to be digging down. We're just trying to make sure that we don't dig out any of our columns or any of the details that I put into this. All right. Okay, so we're going to undo that, and we're going to channel here. Good. All right, and we're going to get in between all of these little pillars. You can actually use your mouse to do this as well, at least with, and it does actually work. Using the mouse actually does work really well for little things like that. But once you get used to the keyboard, it becomes the fastest way to do just about everything. Here we go. Let's get all of this. Pretty sure my music is playing nothing but cricket sounds right now, which is kind of weird. That's all I can hear through the headphones. All right. Okay, so once this is done, they're going to come in and dig down through here. We do have a couple of little areas of the fort. This was this area here, and going up a few levels was kind of existing area of the fort, and we've had to remodel some of it. So some of it juts out into our into the new fort, which is fine, and we're still slowly removing some of the bits of it. So we've got some bedrooms that stick out. We're going to eventually put windows in these gem windows. In these bedrooms, so they can see out into the chasm, because what dwarf wouldn't want that view? And eventually we're going to make that a little nicer. But this has been a real challenge, and a really interesting challenge, digging out over top of empty space. Because one thing I've found, when you're channeling over empty space, that's an excellent way to kill dwarves. And even when you're not, it's a good way. Dwarves tend to enjoy channeling the I think they're pranksters because they tend to channel the square that their friend is standing on, which tends to kill him. But, you know, there you go. I'm sure it's an innocent prank. I didn't mean to send you plummeting into the depths. They're probably not vengeful creatures. These dwarves have actually been they're very happy, generally speaking. We've only got 2 dwarves right now. Actually, 1 dwarf, pardon me. 1 dwarf who is mildly upset. Unfortunately, the other 2, I did have 3 dwarves that were upset last time, but unfortunately 2 of them died last stream. So, madness and an over-exuberant beating. Oh well, Dwarven Justice is not, it's not terribly progressive or enlightened. It's kind of a zero-sum thing. Alright, pardon all the blinking. Alright, we're almost done designating this, and then the miners can come in and do their thing. We have, well, something like 12 miners right now, of various skill levels. Many of them are legendary, but just check to see if we're missing anything. I think we're okay. Many of my miners are legendary. A few, I also pressed in a few fish dissectors to come and help us do this, because this was getting very, well, this is taking a long time. Taking a very long time, in fact. Yeah, I almost fucked up here. So right now we are right at the water level. So this is ice. That's the surface of the ice. So if we dig down here, as soon as it thaws, we are going to flood. Now, because I am trying not to kill anybody, and I want to make sure this looks good. So even when we flood, I want the floor to be smooth. I want the walls to be smooth. So I want to make sure we don't flood until we're ready. So I'm going to keep this barricade here, which should prevent the water from flowing in. If I've done my height calculations right, which I think I have. It's also quite possible that this will end disastrously. Just never know. Alright, so it is now, we're coming up actually to the new year. Dwarfy New Year, and that is going to be a good thing. Year 14. Hey, Smafatty, great to see you. Watching you the past couple days made me finally pick up DF again. I spent my whole night ignoring my wife looking for an embark location that was IC0s and failed. Pro tip, DF Hack's Embark Assistant will let you search for just about everything. I found this one by searching for waterfalls that were nice and majestic. So there were plenty of them, actually. There were lots of them on my Embark. But so I picked one with waterfalls and lots of metals, but it turns out that these weren't useful metals. There's no really no metal or no weapons grade metal in this fort at all, which is too bad, but it's also not the end of the world. Now, can you actually search by majestic waterfalls in DF Hack? You can search for waterfall and you can specify how high you want it. So depending on your definition of majestic, yes, you can absolutely do that. But so it's in the Embark Assistant, which is I think E. I have no idea. I have no idea. But it's an I, whatever. Anyway, it's in there. It's under Embark Assistant, and you can search for everything. So in this particular fort, I searched for waterfalls, but I didn't go into depth, because you can actually go in and see exactly what metals are in there. You can see exactly what you've got, which does take a little bit of the fun out of it. It does simplify things if you are looking to do something specific, mind you. Now, this is actually a very interesting conundrum, because we've got essentially this area is open to the ice. So this floor is a perfect way for dwarves to get into where they're going. However, in 30, 40 days, this is going to get very dangerous. So I may end up having to lock this out. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to... Yeah, no, I can't even... What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the river a little harder for them to go. So we're going to actually set a traffic area for restricted. They'll still use it if they have to, but it will make it a little more. It'll make the calculations a little more difficult for them. So hopefully they will stay the hell off the river. Pardon my language. They'll stay the hell off the river to go do the mining and actually go the long way. Because I get attached to these dwarfs. I'm very attached to these dwarfs, and I don't want to see them die. So we're going to just forbid all this stuff. Not forbid it, but we're just going to restrict it, and that makes it... so when the game is doing the calculations for pathfinding, this costs more. So hopefully they will avoid this area. They probably won't. I've not found restricting areas to be terribly reliable, but I don't think you're going to be able to clear that before the thaw. Probably not. Probably not. We have a lot of dwarves, but that's why I'm being careful, right? So I'm perfectly happy waiting until next season. Perfectly happy. Because I want to do this. I want to do it right, and I want to do it... I could also dig it out, build a bridge, and lower that. That would actually probably be the best thing to do, is have a bridge. Just so long as that gets built before, because you never know, right? But I could definitely do that as well. Because I have made no provisions for drainage. Once this is filled, it's never getting unfilled again. Well, actually, I suppose it could, but it's not likely going to be. So, yeah. But once but actually, the restricted area seems to have worked. They seem to have stayed. They seem to be staying away from it, more or less, anyway. But thanks for joining me, Smurfatty. It's Smurfatty. Sorry, I keep calling you Smurf. Sorry, Smurfatty. Thanks for joining me. It's always nice to see you. It's nice to know I'm not talking into the void. How did you actually get your new fort started, or did you just spend your day or spend the night picking an embark site? All right, so they are working. Now we've been focusing so much on this one project. We haven't really done a lot else in the fort. Our fort runs pretty smoothly right now. We've got most of our industries, the industries that we need, most of them are automated. So we've got our cloth industry is just about fully automated. And everything else is running really smoothly. You could talk to my wife if you want more void. I spent most of the night picking embark site and then worrying about whether or not there were enough great beasts in my world. So just Legends viewer. Yeah, that is a time sink going into Legends. It's fun. There's so much cool stuff in Legends mode. But this is actually what it looks like when they're digging. But the Legends mode is... it's a rabbit hole. It's absolutely a rabbit hole. All right. So they're actually making really, really good progress. And we can actually speed things up because we have this whole area has been dug out. So we can actually get our smoothers. We actually have to do the whole floor too, don't we? Yes, we do. And that actually is going to make things, this take a lot longer. But every single dwarf in my fort has stone smoothing enabled, so hopefully it'll go decently quick. All right. Oops, sorry. Add that pause. So they are plowing away. Oh, we had another really, really great news right at the end of the stream. We had a baby born in our fort. Ono Gusgasholin. Hey, Happy New Year! Happy 14th year of this fort. We are. This has been a great fort so far. So anyway, we had a brand new baby born last year to one of my favorite dwarves, Saxil Kazmankiewicz, and so I'm so happy to see that she's getting her family going again. Embark locations never look how I imagined it would be. I'm excited to see if the Steam release will be easier to read. For Embarks, probably not, because I mean you're looking at it from a world perspective. But once you get to know how to use all the tools of the Embark, it becomes a lot easier. Like for instance, the height levels. You can get a good sense of what it is, right? Like where the mountains are and where your embark sites are going to be. But yeah, it's it can be tough to visualize what you're doing. I was trying to find start a new fort on 4705 as I was playing around with it. I was trying to start a new fort on basically a desert plain, complete desert, like absolutely nothing on it. And believe it or not, that was hard to find. It was really hard to find something that was completely barren on the surface. But I eventually did by using the tools. So, Mazuma, great to see you again. Thanks for popping by. All right, so this digging is going pretty well. Let's take a look at our new baby. So his name is that is actually his mom, Saxil Kazmankiewicz. So let's take a look at her. She's probably pretty happy, hopefully, about her new baby. So she is, first of all, this story of this dwarf, she was helping us build the walls in the cavern to try and secure that when she was attacked by a troll. And the troll mangled her left foot, mangled her lips, her face, her cheeks, and gouged her eyes out. So she has suffered some horrific injuries, but she has remained completely happy, and she has maintained her family. She's married to Erdem Sword Practice and has 2 children, Baby Reg Copperbrand and Sibrick Gemred. She is the daughter of Geshud, Price Galley, and Katten Ragbos, who are not in our fort, I believe. She is romantically involved with Sarvish Kindlewhip, so she's cheating on her husband. And she's an ardent worshipper of Vesh. She is absolutely inexhaustible, but flimsy and slow to heal. So she is a real sweetheart. And her baby, let's find him, Gem. I don't think we have, I can't remember his name. Shoot, hang on 2 seconds. I literally just read it. There's Sibrick Gemred. Okay, so let's find him real quick. I'm just looking at Dwarf Therapist off screen. Sibrick Gemred, Dwarven Baby. So Sibrick Catalang, Dwarven Baby. He is 1 year old, born on the 20th of Obsidian in the year 263. He's actually about a couple months old. Very strong, quick to heal. So, and she dreams of falling in love. She thinks romance is very important. Values cunning, does not really value skills related to fighting, and doesn't think one way or the other about leisure time. So, she is, and she's also cripplingly shy, which is actually really sweet. So, Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her grow up. We've actually had a couple of other babies in the fort um, over the years, and we've got two of them which are getting close to coming of age, which is nice. Baby Reg and Baby Norm. So it's always nice to see babies in the fort. Okay, good. Now we're continuing our dig. We're losing our FPS pretty bad here. So we've got a lot of we've got too many animals, as I mentioned earlier. That's definitely been a problem with this fort. So we're going to continue our, as you can see, they're slaughtering them as we go. We're culling a large part of our herds. We've got a ton of horses, which are not really terribly useful as far as animals go. They're only really useful for meat, as far as I know. They can't actually work. And so they are, actually I can make my life a lot easier. All of this has to get smooth, everything. So let's just unleash the hordes of smoothers, shall we? So this is going to get smooth, not that. Not that! I also have to remove all of these, oops, X, there we go. I also have to remove all of these ramps that are going to need to be done before we can do this. So there's a ton of work to do. So first of all, we're going to D and Z. We're going to remove all of these ramps. Not all of them. So they still need them to get up to where they're working. But we'll remove like this half since it's done. And then once that's done, we'll get in, we'll start smoothing. But at least we've got some guys who are starting to work on the walls and getting this smooth before the thaw. So if we are going to get this done, it's probably gonna need to be we're gonna need to get our asses going, get a move on. So that's gonna need to be smooth, all of that. But like I said, we might not get this. We probably won't get this done for the thaw. Can they be used as packs animals for expeditions? No. I mean, maybe in adventure mode. I'm not sure. I've never actually played adventure mode, believe it or not. It's quite possible that they have some use in adventure mode, but they're really just meat on the hoof in fortress mode. Which is fine because I mean, having meat is certainly a good thing. We certainly, but we have no shortage of that. So one of the tools that I use for managing my animals is Dwarf Therapist. It has a very nice way of managing, or of, whoops, pardon me. You can sort your animals by age. It's a little harder to do it on the in the standard interface. So we've been going through. I've also got a ton of cats. We can get rid of some of those as well. I don't want to get rid of my dogs because we use our dogs a lot as guard dogs, and I also use them as buffers when the were creatures come. They end up, feasting on the dogs and leaving my dwarves alone until they can be killed easily. But we do have a ton of dogs as well. So I'm just culling some of the older cats right now. So 6 years old, because there are a ton of those. Should do. All right, there we go. So that's if you've never used Dwarf Therapist for that, it's actually a really handy tool to get, or just to make it a little easier to manage your livestock. Once you get 300 of them, it's hard to keep track of anything, really. Actually, you know what? Why am I doing it? Let's do this the easy way. All this has to be done anyway, so even though I'll have to come back and do the stuff that is like it when you're smoothing, it won't smooth the ramps, so I'll have to go and do that afterwards, which is no problem. Okay, that's all done. Good. We're going to start on... Okay, we'll worry about that later. Oh, maybe the expedition is the wrong word. I was talking about when you send a squad of dwarves out to the world to capture, conquer, raid, or something. No, they're not useful for anything. Basically, a dwarf can only... as far as I know, anyway, dwarf can only carry what's on his back, what's in his backpack, for when he's going on a raid. You can train war dogs and war animals to go with them to help them fight, which is really handy. But no, as far as I know, you can't use horses for anything like that. So we have to dig. This area here is underneath our fishery area, so that has to be dug out. So we need to go and designate that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to keep going along the edge here, and we're going to make sure that there's 2 squares between the water and the... so all of this gets dug out. There are no pillars or anything to worry about here, so that's all good. This is all good. So we're going to go we're just going to make sure there's 2 pillars between us and the water at any given point, or two layers of stone, and that will keep the pattern throughout the whole area. I messed up one right there, but that'll do. There we go. All right. Got a lot of work for these miners to do, but they're getting along. They're moving along nicely. Okay. One of the other things I was thinking of doing with this fort is going and building in the caverns, which are totally sealed off. Building a dwarven beach resort and going down and digging out a nice lake, putting a nice island in there with a bar, and giving them a place to chill out and relax. Woo! Oodle! Akerkule, let's say he's French. Akerkule has been possessed. Let's see, where is he? There he is. So we are going to follow him and see where he goes. Now he's an engraver, which means he's almost certainly going to be no, he's a weaver. Oh, even better. We had a legendary mitten made 2 streams ago, I think. So I'm hoping this guy makes something, maybe a little more useful. Let's take a look at him real quick before we go. So, satisfied at work. So she is the daughter of Minkot Steelchurch and Stukos Windreams. She's romantically involved with Cadal Rulegaze. That's great. An ardent worshipper of Vesh. She is 68 years old, born in the 11th of Limestone, the year 196, incredibly muscular. Her hair is clean-shaven. Her nose bridge is somewhat concave. Her ears are somewhat short. Her hair is chocolate. Her skin is pink. Her eyes are turquoise. She is basically unbreakable, absolutely inexhaustible, unbelievably strong, and very agile, but she is susceptible to disease. She likes Realgar. I have no idea what that is. Trifle Pewter, Red Diamond, Limewood Wood, Cowhorn, Rammy Fabric, Giant Ostrich Parchment, Backpacks, the words of the fragrant songs, and the sight of the skirt of sparkles. When possible, she prefers to consume Giant Kakapoo, I don't know what that is, and Tuber Beer. She absolutely detests snails. Well, that's very cool. Like others in her culture, she holds craftsmanship to be of the highest ideals and celebrates talented artisans and their masterworks. Great deal of respect for the law. Greatly respects loyalty. Sees friendship as one of the finer things in life. Greatly respects artists and their works. Really respects those that take the time to master skill. Deeply respects those that work hard at their labors. Believes that honesty is the highest ideal. Values leisure time, respects fair dealing and fair play, finds merrymaking and partying worthwhile activities. We need to give these dwarves some time off after this. Respects commerce, values knowledge, values martial prowess, and finds nature somewhat disturbing. She personally views tranquility as one of the highest ideals, after seeing a troll die in 260. She is affronted by the whole notion of maintaining decorum and finds so-called dignified people disgusting, due to retching on miasma in 254. She believes that perseverance is one of the greatest qualities someone can have. After seeing Kick Rust Wave Flag's dead body in 259. She sees family as one of the most important things in life. After gaining a sibling in 255. Well, that's interesting. Finds sacrifice one of the highest ideals due to being caught in the rain. Views cooperation as a low ideal, not worthy of any respect. Values peace over war due to experiencing trauma. Sees no value in holding back complaints and concealing emotions due to being caught in the rain. Fucking rain. And values a harmonious existence due to seeing Xanag Warmth Flag's dead body in 261. She dreams of raising a family. She is utterly humorless, never becomes angry, and is often sad and dejected. Nice. Okay, well, she looks like a sturdy dwarf. She is somewhat satisfied. That's good. All right, let's see what she does. We're going to follow her a bit and see what she claims. I imagine, like I said, she's going to go and claim, or she's going to probably go and claim a weaver's shop, a clothes maker's shop, which is nice. So hopefully, like, we get a legendary cloak or something, which would be sweet. Oh. I swear to God, there was a dwarf bedroom up on the level above. It's always filled with miasma. Like, the guy is the biggest slob I've ever seen. He always leaves food in his bedroom. All right. So walking across the gold puke-covered bridge, and then we'll go to the platinum puke-covered bridge. We've got some serious cave adaptation issues with this fort. And the funny thing is, I made these bridges so that they're always crossing outside every day, and it didn't really help. They're still massively adapted to caves, but oh well. All right, and here we go. She is going to claim a clothesmaker's workshop, and she has to pick the furthest one. Okay, there we go. So she is going to go and collect her stuff. We should have everything she needs. I don't think there's going to be any issues. We have tons of bone. We have tons of leather. Those are kind of the ones that are most often issues. We've got metal bars for her. We should have everything she needs. She's going to a loom. She's going to pick up some silk, more than likely. She's got something. Let's check out what she's got. Not IV. Inventory. She has some pigtail cloth. All right. So it's going to be made of pigtail, which is a fairly valuable thing, which is fine. All right. So we'll let her get to work, and we'll go back up to where we're digging. Who are you, and why are you upset? Not upset. I think he's dizzy. Yeah. Not sure why he's dizzy, but he might have been out in the sun. Maybe he saw some rain. Who knows? All right. So back up to the great dig. We are just about done. So we've got a little bit up top here, a little bit on the bottom, and then we're ready to go. So, and then once this is done, we'll remove all of our the ramps, and we'll get to smoothing. Mazuma, I start a new fort and have a similar slob dwarf. He grabs whatever food and doesn't even eat it, but just leaves it in his room to rot. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it is. One thing I have learned is that military dwarves, when they go to train, will just drop whatever food they happen to be holding and drop it wherever. They'll also sometimes drop clothing as well. So that could be why he's doing that. He gets called to duty, just drops his food and whatever. But maybe he's never eaten. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't eat. I don't know. But it is what it is, right? So, all right. So our boars are being slaughtered. We are keeping our butchers very, very busy right now. We should have, which is also part of the problem. We actually have a ton of meat. We just lying around. We actually should build. So we're in the process. Pardon me, one sec. We're in the process of building barrels. We're making rock pots. Okay, so we've got right. I forgot about this. So we have a recurring work order to make rock pots. So if we have fewer than 20 barrels available, we'll make some rock pots. So that's good. So there should always be some. I literally just made like 200 barrels as well. So I think we might be out of silver because this work order has been sitting around for a while. And we should probably make some more rock crafts at some point. Don't yet have a military. Perhaps he has some other duties. I'll look into the next time I play. Yeah, he might just be a slob. Some dwarves are slobs, and that is just the way the game works, right? So we're gonna go and basically take away all of these ramps because we shouldn't need them in order to access the fort because we've got staircases here and here that will let us get up to the fort proper. So we don't need these. We do, however, want to make sure we don't remove those staircases because that's kind of important. There we go. All right, so everything else, I think that gets all the ramps. That should, no, not quite. I'm going to get rid of these ones here. There we go. All right, that should do. That should do. So looking, and then we're going to go and once those ramps are all gone, we'll smooth everything. And yeah, it's going to be close. I will tell you that. It's going to be super close. So we have very few dwarves who are not busy right now. Look at all those dogs. We have a lot of dogs. I'm going to actually go up top here. Now, so this area up here right now is still the main entrance because we have. I'm just going to zoom out here so you can kind of see what we're doing with in case anyone's here who hasn't been around previous streams. So we've got a river that comes through the from the right here, which goes over two waterfalls, one there and one here where our entrance is, and then it kind of diverges, goes north and south. So the right now there's no way, if a trade caravan for instance spawns on this side of the map, there is no way for it to get across to our new main entrance. So right now the only way for it to do that is to go through our fort, which is not ideal. But so we're gonna spend some time fixing that. We're gonna build some roads. Let me zoom back in here. But in the meantime, we need to keep this protected. So we've got our bridges. They are down, so we're wide open to whoever could come up. But one of the things I've been doing is keeping guard dogs up here, so that we have lots of warning and lots of things to keep a potential invader occupied. So I'm going to put some guard dogs in both of these. Even though we shouldn't, the only real issue that we've had as far as enemies has been were creatures. The nearest necromancer tower is quite a ways away, and we haven't poked it yet. There's only one goblin civilization left in this particular continent, and it is completely surrounded by my dwarven civilization, so it's not really a big concern. So we're very safe here. We don't have to worry about much. Okay, so that is just about all the ramps gone. Okay, still working on that. Now what I'm going to do here, we're going to have to come in. Oops, that's not right. We need to go designate S. We need to go and we're going to smooth all of this stuff. I don't want to smooth the exterior though. There we go. So we're going to set that to smooth. We're going to set all of this to smooth. And these guys are going to get working. There we go. Okay, we're good. There, so this will be a nice smooth floor ready to get flooded. There we go. Anything we missed will get taken care of at some point. So that should do right there. Perfect. Okay. Now, as far as actually cleaning up the rocks, I may end up just using auto dump with that, just to clean it up properly, or just to clean it up quickly, so that we're not having all of our dwarves haul them. But we'll see. Actually, let's make sure that we have our... I'm just checking in Dwarf Therapist again here. So let's go and make sure that we have stone detailing assigned to everybody. Yep. Okay, perfect. So that... shoot. I just closed Dwarf Therapist again. I keep doing that, actually closing the window itself, like closing the whole program, which is, oh well, not the end of the world. All right, good to go. All right, so this is gonna be pretty sweet when this is done. So the next, after this, I want to give the dwarves a nice holiday, but we do need to make sure that this entrance is accessible to the caravans, which means I think we need to go and smooth out some of this. We're going to need to build some roads, and but I think for the most part right now, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to build those bridges across the chasm. But right now, it should be accessible if we go into Depot, because last time this area here, which was kind of the main area across the that the caravan had to go, it had to go across here, and there were trees here that were blocking it. So we went and we clear cut a whole bunch, and that should do it. But we're gonna make it a little bit better and a little bit nicer, because that is the dwarfy thing to do. Pardon me 1 second. I just have to go grab my doorbell. 1 sec. All right, I'm back. What happened here? All right, Udul at Kurkule has begun a mysterious construction. Wonderful. Unfortunately, of course, he's possessed, which means he doesn't get the big skill up. But I think he's probably a pretty good probably a pretty good cloth maker or clothes maker as it is. Legendary Mace Dwarf. He is a legendary weaver. So he's already a really, really good dwarf. All right, let's see what he makes. Super exciting. Oh, and we need to go back to, there we go. All right. Sorry for that. We had Purelator dropping off some new boots for my kids. All right, so let's see how they're going along here. I think we're getting really close to being done here. So all of the ramps, most of the ramps are gone. In fact, I think all of the ramps I had designated to go are gone. Just about anyway. I'm just going to get rid of these ones. Okay, let's let them finish. It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon my time, so it's time to switch to a little whiskey. Very nice. I think I'm coffeeed out for the day. Good stuff. Macallan 12-year-old. Brilliant. All right, let them work. And let's go and take a look around to see kind of what we've got, what's going on. We've got stuff to do. Gotta keep cleaning. There's so many clothes just lying around everywhere. They will get picked up eventually, but it's always nice to clean things a little faster. Speaking of slobs, look at this guy with all his crowns. And this guy has a lot of pants. Like, how many pants does a dwarf need? All right, who is that? Sorry, that's Q. So this is Itab Asobalar, Stonecrafter. He apparently likes his pants. There's a lot of clothes in here. Okay, so I wanted to go and clean up that one bedroom that is, which I think was this one. Looks like it's been cleaned up already. These dwarves are good. All right. Excuse me. So the dwarves are keeping themselves clean for the most part, which is nice. Got some food lying around though, so we're gonna just dump that. Hopefully that won't start causing problems. All right. So once like I said earlier, once this is done, we're gonna give these dwarves a break because there's been so much happening and so much digging that we have not had a chance. They haven't had a chance for any leisure time at all. So I want to fix that. I'm also going to, also making this area here a little bit more grand. So this is kind of the entrance hall into our new trade depot that the dwarves use. I'm just making it taller so that it comes up 2 Z levels. But since this was an afterthought, it is not done yet. So we're going to continue doing this. So there we go. So that's going to channel out and make this a little bit bigger, but not, wait. So that should be, we should be fine, yeah. So I don't want to open this hole any further than it is. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And DZ. So I learned from, in one of Krug Smash's videos, I can't remember which one, I think it was Honeystoker, the idea of having a holiday, a festival season sort of thing, where you just basically turn off everything, force the dwarves to go to the tavern and the temple and socialize. A lot of dwarves like downtime, and working them to death will, cause some bad moods. So we're gonna hopefully that'll help make everybody happy. But right now, if we take a look down at the bottom here, we have all of our dwarves are at least fine. They're at least content, which is good. So that is very promising. But still, there's been a lot. We haven't had much in the way of tavern usage. We haven't had much in the way of just actual socializing over the past little while. So I think it's a good thing for dwarves to do. But it's actually really nice to see that we've got no problem dwarves anymore. Of course, the fact that 2 of them died last stream doesn't help. It doesn't help at all, in fact. Or it's not a good thing anyway. All right, good. So we've got, yeah, so that is going well. So we're just waiting on this. Aha, here we go. So Udil at Kurkule Weaver has created Ugith Tusung, a pigtail tunic. She claims it is an heirloom in the name of her family ancestor Ryzen Gatewatched. Now that is a very useful artifact. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Ugith Tusung. Necro Conjured. Ooh, that is a very, very auspicious name. This is a pigtail tunic. All cross worship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rectangular smoke quartz cabochons and emerald red cut zircons, decorated with pigtail and encircled with bands of pigtail. Tower cap and fungi wood. It is made from pigtail cloth. The object is adorned with hanging rings of milk quartz and menaces with spikes of fungi wood. On the item is an image of Ingiz No Guilds, the dwarf, and dwarves in Gabbro. Ingiz No Guilds is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascensions of the dwarves Ingiz No Guilds to the position of king of the Diamonds of the Church in 1. Wow, our first king. That is really, really sweet. Well, that is fantastic. Until we find a dwarf maybe to put that on, let's go and stick it on a pedestal and forget about it. Whoops, Q. And that was... Which one was that? I've completely forgotten. There it is. Ugith Tusung. Pigtail tunic. Perfect. We're going to put that there, and we're good to go. This is probably the most epic mayor's office I've ever made with all of these artifacts in it. But it has helped prevent theft. We had a lot of theft problems earlier because we had a lot of intelligent undead wandering the place. They would come and they would visit and they would intrigue. Oh, okay, those are just cats. We may have some swimming cats shortly. Because it is the 19th of the first month. And so we have maybe I think it's second month 7 or 10th day when it thaws. So it's getting close. So we may have a whole bunch of swimming cats at some point. Which is, not the end of the world, I guess. But there we go. Okay, so that should... Oh, wait, we don't want to... That's not going to work. Hang on. I need to X that. Because we have a ramp here, which is going to need that square in order to get up, I think. So we're going to remove a designation here. We're going to remove that one. And that should allow us to channel out all of this properly, I think, without too much trouble. Thanks everyone for stopping by and hanging out with me. Just let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see anything about the fort. What the hell? What is going on here? Slaughtering a stray cat. I swear to God, I thought a blinking red 7, which means magma, in my mind anyway. So slaughter a stray cat. That was weird. I think he might be injured, actually. Probably an old injury, mind you, but yeah. Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah, he's got some spinal injuries. Spinal injury, left hip. He's not a happy camper. His ability to stand lost, motor nerve damage, sensory nerve damage. I'm trying to remember how he got injured. History. So it was in 261. 261. What happened there? I think that was when we were attacked by a desert titan. All right, we're just going to. I get to do my first ban. How about that? Block. You'll have to pardon me. Ban. There we go. There we go. Perfect. I feel like I finally arrived as a streamer. My first bot ban. That was sweet. All right. I can't remember how this dwarf got injured, but we had a couple attacks recently in 261. It might have been a were creature. He may have gotten beaten to death or beaten. I can't remember. Anyway, fun times. How did you die? I don't remember. Or how did you suffer your spinal injuries? Don't remember. All right, so that needs to stay. This all needs to stay because that's roof. So this has to go here. But we should be able to get rid of all of this at once. So if we do that, okay. Now I am trying to be very, very careful with my my digging. I'm trying not to get anybody killed. All right, and that is going to all be. That should all stay. Okay, so I should be able. I think all of this under here is relating to these rooms here. So this can all be. So this room here can be sealed up at least for now. Except I do have to clean up all this stuff, and there's a hole there that has to be fixed as well. Okay. All right. So let's make sure none of this is forbidden. Everything seems fine. Just haven't. No one's picked it up yet. And this sandbag has been sitting here for hours, or for not hours, but pardon me, like half a year. I'm not sure why no one will pick it up. There is a stockpile for it. I know that. I checked that last time. So, oh well. All right, so we are just about done. We're halfway done the smoothing process. Then it's just really a matter of cleaning up the rocks. I could probably do this. I could probably do this right now. Because all I would have to do is channel this out. It would be very quick, but I just don't. Oh, man, I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to wait just to make sure. Because right now, half my fort would drown if it thawed suddenly. So we're going to wait till next year. I'm going to make that call right now. We're going to wait until next season, which it freezes up in the 9th month, I think. So we actually have a lot of winter in this fort. So in the 9th month, it freezes. And so we're going to do it then, I think. We still have a lot. There's still a lot to do here. So we've got some smoothing that needs to be done here. Nope, not that. Ah, well, wrong level. Wrong level! There we go. I'll smooth that up. We're going to smooth this up here. There we go. we missed a bunch of stuff here, little bits and pieces of the smoothing process has to go. All right, we're getting there. I am so looking forward to this being finished, flooded, and good to go. But these doors have worked their ass off. Now I'm thinking, do I go any deeper? There's nothing below us. This whole section of the fort has been. Oh, actually. Oh. Well, that is actually interesting. This level is not far. So we've got this level here. We've got one blank level, which has nothing on it really at all. And then we get down into one of our. Sorry. So this level's where we're at. Go down one. There's nothing. Go down one more, and we've got a major storage area, which interesting. So I can't go any deeper really, because this would all end up getting flooded, which wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad. But we don't need to go down any further. This is really as deep as it needs to be. I do have to figure out at some point where my fishing area is going to be. Because I envision this as being kind of a year-round fishing spot for the dwarves. Because right now, the river, when it freezes for 5-6 months of the year, we can't do any fishing. Not that that's a big deal, really, because we have... there's no shortage of food in this fort. We don't need to fish, but it's always nice to have that access year round. So I was thinking of doing a fishing area out here, maybe somewhere over here, because this is our fishery industry as such. So maybe like right here, we'll go and we'll build bridges or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. But we're so close, so close. My God, I could do this, couldn't I? I could do it right now. Nothing like tempting fate. But there's a bunch more smoothing that needs to be done. This doesn't need to be smoothed. This doesn't need to be smoothed because, to be totally honest, this is just overkill. Just to make, because I feel that doors would do the proper job and they do it right. They wouldn't do anything half-assed, so I'm not doing anything half-assed. So we want it all smooth, all nice, good to go, and we're gonna have this flooded very, very shortly. Next spring, or next winter. Well, next spring it'll be flooded. Next winter it'll have to go. So, what are we gonna do in the meantime? Now that is ready to go. Yes, it's really tempting, I gotta say. It's really, really tempting. And there's definitely ways to do it. But okay. But we're coming really, really short. We're short on time right now, so we won't do it. We're not gonna do it. We got other stuff to do, and these dwarves need a break. Speaking of which, we need to keep cleaning up this area up here, which will eventually be this area, this is the main entrance into the fort now. Eventually this has to be cleaned up and redone. In fact, we're going to remove these doors. Oh, sorry, Q, X, and X. So this whole area is going to be reimagined as well. I figure we're going to use constructions. We're going to build towers on either side of the staircase up to overlook this chasm a little bit. It won't be useful for anything, not really, but it will be. It'll just look more dwarfy. but I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do because I'm making this up as I go. So we'll figure that out when we get there, I guess. So maybe we build a pillar under this bedroom. In fact, actually, let's do that right now because I hate the idea that things can just stick out unsupported. I like the idea of supports in Dwarf Fortress. They're not necessary, not at all. They are like, as long as you've got one floor tile or one wall tile sticking out, then it will work just fine. Nothing's going to fall over. But I think it looks better to have things supported. So we're going to build a couple little supports there just to make it tie in and make it kind of feel a little bit more connected, I guess. And maybe this terrace will be useful for something somewhere, somehow, somewhere. So let's see. What are you? White down arrow is what? He is sleepy. So he's going to bed. Let's follow him. Where is his bedroom? This is Toulon Rithlutsigan. Now, this dwarf actually has has a history with this fort because he actually conspired with one of our enemies to steal an artifact, and he received a rather severe beating at one point. But we killed his conspirator, and they haven't bothered us recently. So we're okay. It was actually, we had one particular, this particular artifact right here is Kabukugan. For some reason, this is like the most wanted artifact. Oops, sorry, pedestal. We don't want that. This is the most wanted artifact in the world, and our enemies have tried to steal it a couple of times. So it's a Gabbro bracelet. All craft worship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rose-cut red zircons and encircled with bands of rectangular Gabbro cabochons. The item is an image of the forgotten beast in schist. It has 2 kills because the bard Zephon Lunthicul beat 2 dogs to death with it in our temple before we could kill him. So yeah, it's been so that dwarf was tied up in that. He got a prison sentence. He got a beating because of that, and it's been fun times. What can I say? Fun times. Okay, so that is essentially our dig is done. We've got a week. We could do it. Jesus Christ, it is super close. Thing is, what I could do, and actually what I think I'm going to do. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So we're going to remove all of these ramps. Now we will need ramps here in order to get up to mine out this. Okay, because we have to get up here to channel it, right? So we're going to do, but what we're going to do is we're going to remove these ramps. I'm going to build bridges behind this. Okay, we're going to do 2 raised bridges, and then we're going to raise them up to block the water, and then we'll build a ramp to get onto the bridge. We'll channel out in front of it, and then the bridges we'll be able to control the bridges to control the flow of water in here. I think I'm going to need. Oh man, I'm going to need some wheelbarrows. Okay, let's go do that. Pardon me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, in order to get rid of all of this stuff. Now I could just simply auto dump it all, which would get rid of it instantly. Which would be, if I wanted to do this, the cheating way, that would be the smart way to do it. However, if we go down to our lower level, the lowest level in the fort, we've got a huge room here, which is basically we mined out a whole bunch of granite. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a stone stockpile down here, and we're going to move a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to move all of these rocks down here. Now, actually, no, we're going to do it over on this side. Stockpile, or stone. Now, I'm going to assign a whole shit ton, pardon my language, if there's any kids in here, go watch Fortnite. We're going to build 2 stockpiles here, stone, and we're going to assign about 20 wheelbarrows to each of them so that they can hopefully that'll speed things up a bit. So we're going to unlock these doors. Okay, now we're going to go here, stone stockpile. We're going to go max wheelbarrow of 20. Now the problem is I don't have that many wheelbarrows. We're going to have to make some. Not 120, that would be too much. Okay, so we're going to go into our Shift F1. So we've got 3 carpenter's workshops here. And we're going to have them make, actually, what better yet, we're going to go into our manager. And we're going to make a work order for wheelbarrows. It would help if I could type. We have a ton of wheelbarrows right now, but I need 40 of them. And we can always get rid of these after the fact, but we can sell them off if we need to. But this will hopefully help our haulers haul all that stone away without too much time lost. All right. But there are some furniture pieces that I think because I don't know why, for whatever reason, they are simply not hauling those away. They've been there for a long time, so I am going to auto dump those ones. So just avert your gaze, anyone who is offended by cheating with Dwarf Hack. We also ended up getting some rotten food. Whoops. Unforbid all those. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if you're offended by cheating with Dwarf Hack, I didn't do that. But the way I figure it, the tools are there to be used. They're there to be used. Okay. So hopefully that should allow them to haul all this stone away. We're going to use a ton of wheelbarrows to do it. And then we're going to build these out of the stone that's here, the bridges that are there. And once those are done, once they're raised, then we can very safely channel this out and be no problem. And that will also give us the means to block this off and prevent, if we want to drain it for whatever reason later, then we'll have the ability to block the flow of water. Because the one thing with because this is inside, it's never going to freeze. So it's doing it now is probably better than not doing it at all, or trying to do it later when there's water in it. Okay, so that's good. So we're going to build bridge. Actually, let's wait till that last one's done. So we got one little ramp here that we're waiting on yet. One little ramp. Which is not being dug out yet. All right, so we're gonna have to build 2 bridges anyway, because I can't build a bridge big enough to cover this whole area. So I'm gonna have to build 2 regardless. So we'll just build this one here out of gabbro. Gabbro's lying around, might as well. And then as soon as that's dug out, we'll build a second one. Oh, actually, that's wrong. I just built a retracting bridge, which isn't gonna do fucking anything. Hey, Salajander, great to see ya. Great to see ya. Okay, so let's actually do a raised bridge now And we're going to build it like this. And we'll raise it that way. Okay, so it's going to raise up towards the water. And that way it'll be a little bit more obvious when it's there. Salajander, we are just about ready to flood this bad boy. The dig is done. The smoothing is done. And we're just building bridges to control the water flow just in case. Because it is going to... Whoa! The Forgotten Beast, Galka, Ribsit Lerdi, Ushmal. Let me try that again. Galka, Ribsit Lerdi, Ushmal has come. A great scaly spider. Eesh. It has a twisting, jointed trunk and a gaunt appearance. Its eyes glow fuchsia. Its scarlet scales are oval-shaped and overlapping. Beware its poisonous bite. Well, spider is terrifying right off the bat because of the webs. Also potentially very useful. Now, but as I mentioned, it is... We're safe. It's actually trapped in this little area here. We've got a couple of pet forgotten beasts. There's another one down here, which is a giant... This is Belepi. He is a giant mayfly. I may come in and murder or kill him at some point, but yeah, so we're fine. They're all trapped. I spent a good year and a half of dwarf time sealing this cavern off completely, so we don't have to worry about those guys. Still, it's fun. We've got a nice little visitor. Okay, new bridge. So we're going to build again a raising bridge going that way. It's going to be kind of the same size and shape. Gabbro. There we go. Perfect. So once those bridges are done, we'll raise them up. We'll channel out the stuff in front of it, and good to go. Because it should thaw like any second now. We're going to have a big thaw. All right, so that is good times. Okay, so let's go head up here. We're going to just pop up to the tavern. We're going to need a lever. I think this lever is free. So we're going to hook up this lever to both of those bridges, and that will be the entrance floodgate. Entrance flood. There we go. And we'll have to name these bridges as well when they're done. I don't think I can do it now. No, I don't think so. Oh, I can actually. There we go. All right, perfect. Good. So we are rocking and rolling now. Okay, so let's head up and see. We should be getting... I'm just going to make sure we don't have any accidentally forbidden stuff in this area. No, I think I looked at this already. Okay, so those two pillars are done. So now the bedroom above it is now supported. So it doesn't look like it's going to collapse. Silkaled, thank you very much for follow. I really do appreciate it. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the stream. All right, a couple little things we have to take down here as well to get to the bedroom. We're going to end up eventually sealing this off at some point. Although I could make that a nice little patio. Put a little meeting hall tavern area there if I wanted to. I figure this... Oh, and we have... Oh, shit. Okay, no, we're fine. Fuck. Okay, so this... you can see over here, we're not flooding. We're not flooding. This is holding the water back, which is good. But we do have a waterfall above this as well. So this is all mist from the waterfall, but nothing's getting in here. We probably will have some water spillage off the bridge down onto this. That shouldn't cause any problems because the water, as the water is coming down, pardon me, let's go up here. So the water comes down over here, spills, goes past this diverter that we built a little while ago, and falls down. But it does, as it goes, it spreads out as it goes down. So it does hit our bridge and gets the bridge rather wet. We've actually got some drainage on either side to deal with it. But we're not flooding. Crucially, we're not flooding. I'm not going to lie, I was worried about that. But yeah, so the 6th day of the 2nd month is when we have our... not flooding yet. Yeah, well, yes. But controlled flooding is the important part here. It's controlled. So we do have a lot of stuff to do before we get there. This actually, again, is a statue that needs to go away. And for whatever reason, they haven't been hauling it. So I'm going to just... I'm just going to quickly auto dump that one so that it's not in the way. Oh, right. Of course, I had dumped some other food as well. So is that okay? So that's still there. Okay, awesome. So this is our normal stockpiles. I want to see if they've actually started. So let's go down to the depths. I want to see if they've actually started moving stuff down here yet. Oh god, this is a long way to go. So yeah, it looks like they've started moving a little bit of gabbro down here, which is good. So hopefully that will underwater. Could do. Could do kind of do like the terracotta army, only underwater, right? So just statues. But I think we're okay. I don't think we need to do anything more with this. Vukar Alathonshin Prophet is visiting. That's kind of neat. Another. We haven't had a lot of visitors lately. Cichlid, yeah. We could definitely do the underwater, do something like that, but yeah. I've been doing this for so long. Although it'd be funny, build a couple of mason workshops down here and actually build statues out of all the gabbro that's right here. Oh fuck, there's another mechanism. For whatever reason, that was okay. That would be why. So that gabbro mechanism was forbidden for some reason. So anyway, it's going to take them a little bit of time to move all of these rocks, particularly since they're moving them by hand. They're not using wheelbarrows yet. I do have a ton of wheelbarrows. Our manager should be making, yeah, so we've started building the 40 new wheelbarrows. If I was really ambitious, I could build a minecart system to haul stuff down there. I don't want to deal with minecarts yet. We might do that. If we do my idea of building the beach resort down in the cavern. We might do that in order to move all the rocks. If you want another tediously compact, yeah. I mean that's another. I've never messed around with minecarts, and I don't think I want to do it right now because I'm really eager to get these bridges finished and get this flooded. So I might auto dump all these rocks. I might. Wave pool. Well, there's gonna be some surfing waves as we flood this thing for sure. It's gonna actually be pretty epic. And everyone's gonna have a great view of it. I mean, once you have it set up, it's a great way to move huge amounts of crap around. Yeah, absolutely. I was looking into them because I thought it would be really useful for this, right? And it would be 100% useful. And this is exactly the right application for it. But at the same time, it's just a whole other project, which we, like I said, when we do the next big dig in this fort, which will be in the cavern. So let's zoom out. Let's take a look at our oops, that's the wrong one. So this is our cavern layer. As I mentioned, it is completely sealed off. So there's nothing that can get in to this cavern layer unless it comes in from either the surface or if we dig down to the next one. So it's kind of wasted space in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's great. It's got more trees than I could ever use. But I was thinking, what if we built a lake right here? Or right here? Or maybe down 3 levels, you know? What if, whoops, wrong, I'm going the wrong way. I'm hitting the wrong button. So what if we went and built a lake? And then we could build a little island, put a bar there, and make it a resort. So that's going to be an even bigger dig, I think. So we're going to need to move some serious amount of rock at that point. So we might do something for that. We can also build like a little minecart roller coaster for them to go on as well. Just, I don't know. That could be fun. But yeah, it would be honestly doing the minecarts is really the next thing I really need to learn how to do. I've never messed around with them. I've never really needed to, because never. I mean, in fact, actually, at the beginning of this fort, we actually ran out of stone. That's why I had to dig out that room that we're moving all the rocks to now, is because I literally ran out of stones, so I couldn't build anything. So again, not flooding. This is just water pouring in from the top, from up here. So when it hits the bridge, let me zoom in again here so we can see what we're doing. When it hits the bridge, it drains in. It's going to drain either off the side, or it's going to come and drain through these 3 or 4 grates there. This on this side of it, it will drain on. Those are ramps on either side of the bridge, which allows it to drain water back into the chasm. I mean, once you've set up giant cylinder hole to connect surface and caverns, yeah, we could also do that. In fact, actually, it wouldn't be hard if we say wanted to continue digging this down, which I don't. It would be there's not a lot underneath it if we keep going, and it's not far down to the cavern. So it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 levels down. So another 14 levels down, and then we could just drain it all into the caverns. Kind of a bad idea, guy. It's my thing. That's totally fine. I love ideas, and hearing what other people think. Backseating is entirely allowed on this fort. Just don't expect me to always do what you say. But yeah, I have no idea. I have no problem if you give me suggestions. No problem at all. We probably need another wood pile here at some point. We don't have. We've got so much wood on this fort. Like the trees are ridiculous outside. So I don't need magma really. Even if we got besieged, which likely won't happen in this fort. If we got besieged, I've got an entire cavern layer to chop down. So I've got more wood than I could ever possibly use. Especially since the metal in this fort is not weapons grade. I've only got silver for warhammers, which is the best, admittedly. But pool bar, but inside the carnival? Oh. Yep. I don't know if we're getting down to the clowns just yet. Again, we don't have a lot of weapons to defend ourselves with, but going down and getting some or adamantium would be a way to fix that, right? Pool bar. We could just drain the river into hell. That would be something. Spoiler alert. Moldath Igamurist Prophet is visiting. That's good. Let's go take a look at. We got a couple visitors just now. Vicor and Moldath. Moldath is a name that's been ruined, of course. Can't think of that name without thinking about the beardless necromancer. So he is so he's a dwarf, which is good. Her long nose is incredibly upturned. Her hair is clean shaven. She's a scratchy voice. We get a lot of prophets coming through here as visitors. Are you carrying any books or anything like that? Nope. Okay. The guests are here to see the spectacle. Yeah. No, we've got a really good library. We've got a really good temple, which is why they actually come, of course. But the yeah, for a while there, I had a whole year where I just buttoned up the fort and didn't let anybody in at all. We had a lot of issues again with theft at first, but that's it's kind of tailed off a little bit. We killed a bunch of people who were trying to cause us problems. And you are Wispy Goals. We had I think it was 2 streams ago, I had an Etna attack. And this dwarf here, which is right here, who's collecting wood right now, and vomiting while she's doing it. Vomiting while she's doing it. So she was the one who killed our female Etten. She got the killing blow. She is a sword dwarf, I think. Yep, legendary sword dwarf. So while we don't have a lot of weapons grade metal, we don't have any way to make weapons other than hammers, and we have no way to make armor. We've imported enough weapons, and they've been training long enough that they are all legendary. So it's been good. Why are these bridges not done yet? I mean, it's not like they have far to go. Needs architecture. We're waiting for the architect. Okay. I wonder if my architect got beaten to death recently. The Hammer Squad. I actually, not in this fort. With this fort, we've got 3 really good. Oops, pardon me. We got 3 really good squads of highly trained legendary dwarves, all with whatever weapon they have. And then we've got a couple other ones, but including one really good Marksdwarf squad. But what we didn't do is, and what I would normally do is create a squad with each weapon. That way I can specify their uniform properly. Red Stutson, great to see you. Thanks for popping by again. Great to see. If one could fight the clowns with water pouring from above the circus, well, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna flood anything, flood the circus. Absolutely. Spoiler alert, by the way. But yeah, I've never. I don't know. Again, that's another thing I've actually never played with. I've done a lot to avoid them, but I've never actually pierced dug too greedily. I'm pretty sure clowns don't drown. No, I'm pretty sure they don't. Once you do, great to see you again. Thanks for popping by. Great to see everybody. All the lurkers who aren't chatting, great to see you guys. Thanks for popping by. Just know you are appreciated. And to everyone who's in the chat, you guys are the best. Okay, so I am waiting for an architect. Now, I did have some dwarves die recently, so it's possible all my architects are dead, or they're just busy doing other stuff. So what I'm going to do, I've got 3 architects. One is probably busy clothes making. So I'm going to just... I don't know why it's been so hard to level architects. I have a lot of bridges. I built a ton of archery targets, but you're not doing it. So I'm wondering if we're going to just take away all of their... sorry, one sec. I've got therapist up is what I'm looking at here. So I'm just taking away all my architects' labors. So hopefully they'll get busy doing what they're supposed to be doing. and not other stuff. They're probably all busy rock hauling or something. All right, commit that. I'll turn that off. Good. So hopefully that'll get them busy doing what they're supposed to. I don't know, maybe they don't want to get wet. It's kind of like getting caught in the rain, isn't it? So we're getting some masterpiece wheelbarrows built by our last remaining founder dwarf, Lady Alath. Unfortunately, we lost the other one. We had last stream we had 2 founding dwarves left, and unfortunately, Lord Dan ended up getting killed in a cave-in. He got hit by 3 rocks in the head, and unfortunately he died. So which is a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy. But I mean, what do you do? What do you do? But the dig is done. I think you can skill architecture and library with the right books and interested dwarves. That's quite possible. I think I can also make an architecture guild hall. In fact, let's do that right now. Guild halls are really cool because dwarves will congregate in them, and if they're interested in the subject, they will train themselves. So, but here's the thing, an architecture guild hall can't just be a random hole in the ground. It can't be a square room. It's got to be an interesting architecture piece, right? So let's build it up here. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna designate an architect's guild hall, even though we don't necessarily need one just yet. Now this is right above a temple. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do kind of a similar design here. So we've got this temple is 2 stories tall with pillars, because I love pillars, and it has gem windows on both levels. So that's what we're gonna do with this one as well. So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna so we need another up-down staircase above here. Good. Okay, so that'll be an up-down staircase, and then we'll build a hallway here. Because again, these architects can't be seen somewhere that isn't grand and architecture-y. So we're going to build a 4 squares should do, I think. All right, and this will be it. So we're going to just dig out going to kind of use the natural contours of the stone, Rockenstone, here, like so, I think. That'll look all right. And then we'll maintain that here as well. Wow, this guild stuff is totally new to me. It is new. It was new in 47, the 47 release, as part of the Villains update. It's neat stuff. I didn't realize that you don't, like, they'll petition you for a guild hall, and then they'll congregate there, which is cool. Really, really super cool. So we've got a blank. Yeah, okay, good. Which is really, really cool. But I didn't realize that they don't have to petition you for it. That you can just build one, and then they will use it, which is really cool. Because if they use it, they will train themselves. So they'll hold. It's like a barracks, right? So they'll go there. They'll hold architecture classes and stuff like that. And yeah, it's neat. But again, I've never played with it like this, where I've never actually done one that wasn't required, right? So I want to do this. I want to make this look interesting. So I want to use the natural contours over here. I don't want it to be boring and ugly. Because architectures, these guys are... I'm also making this far bigger than it needs to be. Truthfully, it doesn't need to be like this big. All right, there we go. So that looks different, unique. I don't know if I like it. But, so let's do that then. More pillars! Must have more pillars. Let's do. There we go. I think that looks, it kind of looks like a blow dryer, but you know what? That's okay too. Now, what we're going to do here, so this, we're going to punch out that wall. We're going to punch out that wall. We're going to punch out both of those, all that. This will be very similar to the level below it. To the temple of down here, it's going to be similar. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to build a constructed wall here, like we did below, and then we're going to have everything that's exposed to the outside is going to be covered with gem walls. Pillar fort, the pillars of pillar. Yes, thank you. That'll be the next fort. I do love my pillars. I love pillars, and I love little alcoves and stuff. So, but I think that's going to be good. So we're going to get them mining that out because my miners don't have fucking anything else to do. And I think they're actually making some progress here in cleaning out these rocks. But it will take some time. Suspended the construction. Why the fuck are you suspending? Oh, no, shit. I think it might be because it's wet. That might be because it's wet. Because it's covered in water. That might be. If any, the realm's first 8x8 pillar. Yeah. So let's try this again. I think they might not be able to build it if while it's wet. Maybe occasionally too much water. Yeah, it should all be just one Z level deep. I mean, it shouldn't actually cause problems with that. But if the dwarf doesn't want to get his feet wet, then maybe, right? I don't know. We may have to wait until the water stops. And if I would have been smart and built control valves up at the top so I could stop the water, that would have been really smart. But of course, I wasn't thinking ahead. I guess we'll find out. Speaking of which, it should be, but I mean, I don't know why it got canceled. It might have been canceled because there's too much crap lying around too. I mean, if you think about it, a dwarf can easily wade through 3 levels of water. At 4, they start swimming. At 7, they start drowning if they can't swim. But 1 is just basically not. It might as well not even be there. However, there is a lot of other stuff here. So let's do this. How about this? We're going to designate B, and we're going to dump. I'm going to dump all the rocks that are here. I think there's just too much stuff in the way. And then we're just going to okay, so that should, oh, maybe not. Okay, let's just go quickly, hang on a sec. So that's forbidden, forbidden, forbidden. That's tasked, yeah, they're just removing that stuff now, so it's okay. So I probably didn't need to do that. So I think there's just too many rocks in the way. I think that's the problem. And of course, I went and fucked it up by auto dumping, which forbade everything that they were trying to move. But that's okay. So they're all being. You can see they're all. They've got a little task marker here next to their name. So that means somebody is coming to go and haul that away. So that's probably what it is. Possible some of the items that are forbidden can't be moved by the architect, which is, yeah, I don't think they were until I did the auto dump thing, and it failed to move some of them. Forbidden, yeah. So I think that's what it is. There's just too much stuff in the way. I can't close the door. There's a seed in the way, So. Suspended entrance flood 2. Yeah, so we're going to just keep unsuspending this until they get off their ass and get everything done. I mean, if they were smart, they would have just used the rocks that are there, but I don't know if they actually can do that. But we should, they're working on the first one now. So that's Sigurd Snailbane. I think he's one of our architects. Let's find out. Get to know our dwarves. So he's constructing a building. So he isn't one of our architects. He's a legendary spear dwarf, an adept swords dwarf, legendary shield user, accomplished armor user. He's legendary at everything. Like these guys have, if you look at dwarf therapists, they've got like level 35 in their weapon skills. They are ridiculously good, but their armor is mostly like, it's a kind of a mishmash of everything, and everything and anything that I could trade for. The last couple traders that came by, I've been very picky about using so I've been just buying steel and armor now, or steel and iron, pardon me. So we'll get rid of the copper eventually, because eventually I'd like to go and take out the tower that is nearby, and I would love to go and destroy the goblin fort, which has not that many goblins in it, but probably a ton of undead, and it definitely has a demon in it. So I don't really know how that would go. Would you consider trading for iron steel objects to melt down? I've done that. I actually do have like 5 or 6 iron anvils that I was planning on melting down. I was planning on I've been planning on doing that. I just never bothered with it because it's not really that urgent right now. But yeah, so we could, if we go into our stockpile here, one of the things I love about Dwarf Hack is just some of the useful things it adds. This is the enhanced view for the stockpile. It allows for searching, and allows for a lot of really, really nice things. So for instance, we've got 5 iron anvils. I can set them to melt all of them if I want. Just Shift M will melt them all. I have 5 iron bars currently. We've got a decent amount of iron armor. Decent amount, not a whole lot. We've got some iron bolts as well. So I could do these anvils. I literally bought them to melt down because I have enough. So actually, let's do that. So Shift M, we're going to melt those. And actually, I wanted to also look for silver. I think I'm out of silver bars. So we need to set up a work order for smelting those. So, for smelting some silver. Metal poor and bark sites usually mean relying on goblinite. Yeah, but the thing is, there are none. There's no goblins anywhere. I mean, like, there's one goblin fort on this continent, and it is, really far away. Asterix, I guess. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Oh, what the blue star means. In the English glowing boat has been elected to the position of holy control of the esteemed doctrines. Okay. I don't think he's one of ours. Let's check that out. So that's so he is the holy control. That's a religion. The esteemed doctrines is not. That's not familiar. So it might not be a religion that's really taken hold in my fort. But let's see if he is one of my guys. English. Nope. I don't have any Englishes. Okay, so that doesn't really apply to us. Would you use a metal generation, creating items that melt into more metal than it takes to smith them? Or would that be unethical? Well, yes and no. I mean, it is definitely exploity. Is it unethical? Absolutely not. It's your game. Play it however you want. I don't use DF hack or exploity stuff like that, but I would absolutely use a dwarven power generator using a self-powered perpetual motion machine, basically with water wheels. I would absolutely do a dwarven water reactor. Absolutely. It's just using the game mechanics creatively. That's what these games are for, right? The were camel. Okay, this is not. Okay, so Where is he? Oh, he's right. Okay, so he's right down here. And see, this is exactly what I. Oh shit. So one of the things in completely redesigning my fort, I intentionally and deliberately removed the control levers that raise this bridge and this bridge. Oh shit. So I can't, normally I would just button it up and let him run rampant through my animals and shoot him with my Marksdwarfs. I can't do that this time because, whoops, because I wasn't thinking. So we're going to go and, so this is the Were Camo Ramkal Atalilpi, whatever, has come. A very large camel, twisted into human form. It is crazed for blood and flesh. Its eyes glow green. Its charcoal hair is even and short. Now you will know why you fear the night. I am so glad that where camels can get haircuts in this day and age. I can't. I need a haircut. Alexis play combat playlist. Dun dun dun. All right. Actually, I have some. Hang on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. We're gonna get some more Viking music going on here. Where is it? I've got some really. So I have a playlist here from a guy named Adrian von Ziegler, who is super gracious in that he lets all of his music be used by streamers. Jotunheima, there you go. This is my. We've had. Is this the same one? I don't know, but he's got the same hairdo, so it might be the same one. I think the last one that came, I killed. He murdered a lot of dogs, but I killed him. So what we're gonna do? So we got to recall this gem setter. So we're gonna turn on our burrow. Oh Jesus, can I remember how to do that? So danger burrow, danger, Will Robinson. We're going to turn on that, and okay, so he should run in. As soon as he runs in, we're going to lock our doors. Now that's not going to help. This were camel can break down doors. However, the were camel is going to be really distracted by the wonderful amount of targets that he's got right here. So he should run rampant. He's going to kill a bunch of cows, which is fine because they won't come back as were camels. And our dwarfs should be fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to retract this bridge, retract all the bridges, and once he turns back, we'll just go and slaughter him. Normally, I would just raise up this bridge and this bridge, trap him in here. I've got a Marksdwarf shooting tower up here that we can shoot at him, and decent Marksdwarfs actually. So let's get them up to our. Whoops, go back. We're going to select squads. Imprison papers. You guys are going to come up here. Station here. Oh, move station. Because they don't need to come out. They can get access through this stairway. They don't need to come through these doors. It's just Reg here. Reg is in trouble if he doesn't get the fuck inside right now. So let's. Okay, so the burrow is on. Done that. Burrow is on. Marksdwarves are ready. I used to be scared of the darkest kid. Now I know why I feared the night. It was were-camels. It's always were-camels. I just find the thought. I've never seen a werewolf, but I see were-armadillos all the time, or stuff like that, right? Were-camels just seem absurd in some ways. I kind of imagine like Joe Camel coming to sell kids cigarettes or something. Do you have a roof over the Marksdwarf area? Yes, I do. Yeah, so we are, again, if I hadn't been cocky enough and overconfident enough to not rebuild the levers for these two doors, yeah, we would have been able to button it up 100%. There are other ways that a flying creature can get into our fort, but not here. Okay, so we're going to go turn it on, and we're going to follow Reg here and make sure that he gets inside. Store item in stockpile. He's probably going to get wood, which means he's going to try and walk right by the camel. All right, so we're going to follow him. I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little bit better what we're doing, and hopefully Reg gets the fuck out of Dodge. So Were-Camel's coming in. Oh my god, it's a smorgasbord. Reg, get in the door, mate. So we're killing it. He's killing a bull right now. We've got dogs. Very, very okay. So good. Okay, so he's in. Now we're going to lock the door. I'm not going to say that the dogs are expendable, but they're totally expendable. All right, and we have to go down to our control room here, and we're going to pull some bridges. So that's going to pull that lever, and then we're going to pull. So they do that now. High priority. And we've also got some levers over here that need to be pulled. So the Grand Bridge can stay up, or can stay down. I've never even tested it. I'm not even sure if it works. We're going to pull that one and pull that one. Now, once that's done, assuming he doesn't jump, actually, we're going to pull the bridge, that one as well. So that's our Grand Bridge. That's this bridge here, up a bit higher. So that should block him from getting in, because these Were-Camels have no problem jumping off a 20-story cliff and into the water and then coming in a different way. So now that that's done, we should have our Marks dwarves should. These doors are locked, which means dwarves can't get out. The only way, so the Marks dwarves won't see this guy and go and start beating him up. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble my squads just in case. I don't think this is going to happen, but the squads are going to come here and just assemble there, so that in the event that this thing ignores all these animals and starts beating or breaking into our fort, the squads will be close by so that they can deal with it. All right, let's turn it on and watch this Were-Camel kill some animals. So that bull is putting up a fight. He's unconscious now, which isn't great. But, oh, and he's dead. Okay, so he's basically culling some animals for us, which is fine. That's what I wanted. I wanted to do that anyway. Now, the thing is, though, when they pull this lever, this is a retractable bridge. It's not a raising bridge, which was a mistake on my part. But so if he's standing on it, he will fall down, and then he'll have a way in through the new entrance, which is not ideal. But we've got some Marks dwarves who are shooting at him, which is good. Not many though, and only one is shooting at them, which is kind of odd. But hopefully they're getting some. I think they're getting hits, which is good. We'll check that out in a second. So let's actually let's check that out now. So the Pebble of Hate, Muthkat, is the only one who's actually doing anything. So he strikes the Were-Camel in the upper right leg, tearing the muscle. He strikes the Were-Camel in the upper right arm, tearing the muscle and bruising the bone. I have a part in this. This might require an answer. Has the tide turned? I feel no terror. He strikes the Were-Camel in the upper body, so he's doing work. He is called the Pebble of Hate because he shot at he shot and killed another forgotten beast as well. So whenever I kill a forgotten beast, I have that dwarf take his name, which is why we have some very strange nicknames in this fort. So they're doing work. We've got a calf. Oh, look at that! We've got some. They're doing work now, but they are slaughtering a lot of my animals. Not more than a few, but our bridges are raised, so. Which means the Were-Camel won't be able to get out once he transforms back. Which should... There! Oh, and they killed him! They killed him! Sweet! The Were-Camel is dead. Okay, the Marks dwarf, Edom Thortithukelet. Oh, that's the hardest part of streaming Dwarf Fortress, is saying the names. The flying bronze bull strikes the Were-Camel in the upper body, tearing the muscle and tearing the left lung. The flying copper wolf strikes the Were-Camel on the right hand, tearing the muscle and bruising the bone. Tearing the muscle, so there's a right hand. So he probably didn't get the kill. The Pebble of Hate. He strikes the Were-Camel in the upper leg, chipping the bone. Death, this is truly horrifying. How fragile are we? Begone fear. My dwarves are all overactors, pardon me. So let's find out. We can find out how he died. The last... So he was ripping dogs to pieces. The last attack was a bolt striking in the upper body, tearing the muscle, chipping the middle spine's bone, and bruising the nervous tissue. Alright, so we're going to just quickly... That was messy. But our hurt is not so bad. Not so bad. Alright, so let's go and see. I'm going to use another really neat feature of Dwarf Hack. It's called Death Cause. This will tell us exactly who killed him and who got the final blow and or how he died. So he bled to death, killed by the dwarf Ilral Terim Solon, shot by a crossbow. So I don't think we're going to give him a nickname. I should give him a nickname, but not a nickname. I'm not going to name it after the werecamel. So if anyone wants to suggest a nickname, or if you want this dwarf named after you, then just shout it out, and I'll name this dwarf whatever you guys say, as long as it's not too silly. Hump Daddy. Yeah, that's too silly. Hump Daddy. Evander. Camelbane. Yeah, Camelbane would work. Actually, we'll make him... okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. I like Camelbane. That'll do. So where is he? Ilral. There he is. Okay. We're going to name him... we're going to actually give him a custom profession. So he is Camelbane. We actually had a Camelbane in the fort before. But that works. So he is Ilral Fate Flag's Camelbane. I think he's actually killed other things as well. So he killed... so he just killed Ramcal Slap Ace, the human. No, that is... In 264, yeah. So he also killed a cave crocodile, pardon me. So yeah, so he just killed the werecamel, and he's also had a cave crocodile. So that's good, Joe Cool. I don't mind. That's cool. I don't mind that. Alright, so... Now, so we do have we still have a decent herd of cattle left. We didn't lose too many dogs. It'll be a bit of a mess to clean up, but not so bad. So we're just going to go down here and look for any arrows that are lying around that need to be unforbidden. I don't think there are many. Those Marksdwarfs actually did a good job in hitting. I don't think anything flew off into the distance either. I think we're good. One thing I hate is trying to find arrows after a battle like this. But they get forbidden for a very good reason. Because otherwise a dwarf would shoot an arrow and then just run and go and get it. Or another dwarf would run and go and fetch it and get killed by something. Okay, so we can turn our burrow off. Good. Not struck from Glory of the Defense 4, but which tile set are you using? I use the Vettlinger 32X tile set. In my opinion, it's the nicest tile set that is out there as far as looks go. I think it makes the game look great. I think the sprites are really good, and I think it gives it especially with the walls, the way the walls look and the way they kind of conjoin, it looks really good. And there's a link there in the chat, as well as it comes in the Lazy Noob pack or any of the starter packs. It's a graphics tile set though, so it gives you a ton of extra stuff. The one drawback is that it can be hard to see stuff. Like for instance, when you have a Forgotten Beast, we just pop down to our cavern real quick. Forgotten Beasts don't jump out at you necessarily the way they should. So for instance, this right here is a Forgotten Beast. It's a great graphic if you get in close, right? I'm just going to zoom in real quick here. So you can see it closely. It's a great graphic, but it's so small. And it actually has a tiny little FB in the corner. so you know it's a Forgotten Beast. Like, it looks great, but when you're zoomed out at a playable zoom level, you can't see it. Now, something like this, which is just a big glowing capital I, is hard to miss. So that's my one complaint with this tile set and graphical tile sets to begin with, is that it can be a little hard to see things and have them pop out properly. So that's my only complaint with it. And the cavern layer is a bit busy, as far as there's lots of things going on. But I think it's a really nice tile set, truthfully. So anyway, that's my long-winded answer to a very simple question. All right, so they will come and I'm just going to dump this straight away, the corpse, so that we don't have it sitting in our corpse pile for too long. So we're not going to be able to do much with any of these guys. But luckily, none of these animals come back as undead anyway, so we're okay. This system is actually really good for dealing with were-camels, or were anything, because they'll come in, they'll start attacking expendable livestock, and we can either trap them inside this little area, or we can shoot them with our crossbows. Either way works, because once he turns into a human, he's completely helpless. And it's really just a matter of catching him. So if he can't get out, then it's easy. Alright, let's head back down to our bridges. Okay, he just stood up, that's fine. But actually, for the longest time, my Marks dwarves would not do anything. They wouldn't shoot anybody. They would just sit there and not do anything. So they finally trained up enough that they're actually useful, which is good. All right. So we have our burrow is off, right? Yes. All right, good. Oh, also we have to turn off our squads, ABC, and they were going to cancel orders because they all congregated up here at our they had all congregated up in our farm area. So unlock the, oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. Almost forgot about that. Unlock the doors, pet passable. Unlock the doors and pet passable. Very good. All right, now they can actually get out there and clean up. Because everybody wants to go clean up were-camel blood. But except for the very first couple years of this fort, we haven't really had to deal with any of our dwarves being bitten. Because I've learned how to... Oh, and this dwarf, or that needs to be lowered as well. So we have to lower all the bridges. So we've learned how to... I've learned how to manage them. Actually, I'm just going to leave the Grand Bridge. I'm going to leave that up. Because hopefully that will eliminate this water issue from coming in. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? but we don't need this one. We don't need this one. And we don't need the wood bridge anymore. Alright. Good. So now that's done. So we should be able to get back to work. With any luck, we'll be able to continue. We'll be able to get these bridges built if we can ever get these things moved. So that's forbidden. So that's probably one of the reasons. Oops. There we go. Okay. Little tiny graphical glitch there. So just all right. So let's make sure that we don't have anything forbidden here. I don't think so. So I'm just going to go D, B, and we're going to claim all of this stuff just to be on the safe side. We should be fine, but we just got to go and get that. Now, and the big problem is, of course, that these rocks, there's so many rocks that the chance of a dwarf coming and getting the one I want them to come and get is probably pretty slim. So this one's tasked. That one is not. Okay. We'll keep at it. So the dwarves are upstairs cleaning up. He's working on the bridge now in the water. So hopefully that's going to be okay. I will never forget my encounter with were-rhinoceros. Wow. Yeah, that would be legitimately terrifying. I mean, were animals they're tough. Like, they're tough to beat when they're in their were form. I don't fight them if I can when they're in their were form, in their animal form, because they're just too fucking tough. And of course, one tiny little bite or scratch, and now suddenly you have a were-camel to deal with yourself. Pro tip, if anyone doesn't know this, in the top right-hand corner of your Dwarf Fortress screen is the phases of the moon. So right now, when that turns into a 0, you have potential were-camel attacks or whatever attacks. That is the moon right there, so you can actually pay attention to it. The full moons also happen the same day every month, which you can check the wiki for exactly when that happens. So you can, if you do have a were-camel or a were creature, you can plan for it and put him aside and put him away so he doesn't wreck your fort. Is there a calculator or calculation strength depending on what were-beast? Yeah, I think so. So the bigger the beast, the more terrifying it is. Because they're like an elephant is one of the most dangerous beasts in the game because they're so huge. And I think if you get, I think that the were-camel or the were-beast takes on the attributes of the animal it becomes. So yeah, I think so. I never looked into that, mind you, exactly, but again, the wiki will have all that info. Oh, stop it! Just build the damn thing. Okay, so entrance flood 1 is done. So it's just the mason is here and he's building it now, which is sweet. Okay, so we're gonna go up to our new masons or architects guild now. So what we need to do is build seed wall. We're gonna build a wall here and we're gonna build it out of schist because it's right there. And I'm going to go and designate all of this for smoothing. We also need to build some gem windows as well, which we'll do in a sec. Alright, so now, no. Okay, so we don't want to chop down trees, we want to smooth. We also want to go down here and smooth this. So I figure, so this, actually, I didn't really need to do that, did I? I don't need to smooth the floor up here, not at all, because this is going to be all channeled out anyway. On the other hand, it's also may not be worth. Okay, so I think we're going to do. I'm going to end up having ramps in here. So let's just save some dwarf labor. Oops. So what I'm doing is just basically all the squares that are going to get channeled out, which is most of them. Most of the floor is going to get channeled out here. It doesn't need to necessarily be smooth. So I'm just getting rid of that. It just saves a little bit of dwarf labor. Although dwarf labor is the cheapest labor anywhere. But, you know. Alright, so we're just going to quickly do this. We don't need those ones. We don't need those ones. We don't need that one. Okay, so that'll make things go a little faster as well. But even a were capybara could mess you up. Yes. Yeah, where any were creature is very dangerous when they're transformed. Very, very dangerous. So the absolute best way to deal with them, 100%, is to contain them. Again, distract them by dogs, or distract them with dogs, because you can basically make a confined area where you come in with a whole bunch of guard dogs there that will they'll get slaughtered. But it will allow you time to lock your doors and basically, if you wait it out, the were-camel will turn into its human form or its dwarf or whatever, its regular form, in which case they are completely harmless. And if they're contained, they're also trapped, so you can just go and any dwarf worth his salt can kill a transformed werecamel. I'm not sure what the internal math is, but generally assume that whatever the base animal is, all the stats turned up to 11, and then multiply a few times on top of that. Yeah, basically. They're dangerous enough that I don't worry about the calculations. I just fucking avoid them. So, just avoid them. But yeah, if you can get it to a point where they are they transform back and you can catch them, then they're easy to deal with. But they will run if they're just out and about in the world. They will just run away as soon as they transform. So you have to capture them somehow. Which so that's kind of what the upstairs design is kind of about, is capturing them or just delaying them enough until we can deal with them properly. And it works. I mean, sure, we lose a lot of cattle every time, but who cares? Cattle are replaceable. Well, you don't lose them all, but those cattle I bought from the traders anyway, so or at least the first breeding pair. But yeah, most of my animals get stored in the caverns, but I figured it's always a good idea to have some up there. But even if I didn't have livestock up there, dogs breed super fast, and they actually put up a bit of a fight. So if you have a bunch of war dogs up there, then they can actually save you and actually do some damage to whatever you're facing. All right, good deal. So now we have the the entry flood 1 is almost built. Entry flood 2 is being built. We have the gabbro that was in the way is now removed, and hopefully, I swear to God, I hope I got it right. So entrance flood 1 and okay, good. So they are actually they're actually right next to each other. They're not going to be. I did miss a square. I was kind of worried about that for a second. Okay, so up here we're getting clean. We're getting the cleanup done. That has not been cleaned up yet, but I'm sure they'll get to it. Okay, good. And all the wood around here has been cleaned up as well, which is excellent. So now actually I don't need this bridge open any longer. Actually, no, there's still a couple more pieces. Of wood. More than likely because there's no room anywhere. But yeah, so we're doing all right. We're doing okay. We do have the main bridge up, which has prevented, quite a bit of water from coming in, because this is now dry. That bridge is done, so let's get this one linked up to a lever in our control room. So add new task, link up to a bridge. Not that one. Entrance flood 1. There we go. I wonder if I'm going to try and use that mechanism for this one. Because I don't know why, but they won't pick up mechanisms from us or anymore. I know I have a stockpile for them. I know I do. I just don't know why they won't pick them up. Okay, that one's being picked up. That's nice. Because I'm using it for the bridge. Fuck's sakes. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Alright. We're doing good. So once that's done, all we'll need to do is get on top of the bridge once it's raised, to get on top of it and channel out this. Zerionic, great to see you. Great to see you. Welcome back. It's been a fun stream today. We just finished a werecamel attack. We're building an architect's guild hall, and we are done the dig. We're building bridges here for a controlled flood once all the rocks are done. And like I said, I may end up just dwarf hacking that out to save some time. Alright, so our Architects Guild is smoothed. Now before I can do anything else with it, I need to get up here and build our windows. Now we should have, what do we have for... Now I love gem windows, they're super easy to build. You don't need to muck around with glass making. All you need is 3 cut gems. So what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 21 gems of one type, which I don't have any, or at least one color. Red zircons, red is kind of what I've been using everywhere else. So we have got tons of those. So let's go down to our new, where is it? It's right down here, I think. Our new gem workshops. We've got a couple of these. So we're going to cut gems. We're going to cut our red zircons. We're going to cut red spinels. I don't have any of those. But we've got lots of red zircons. And milky quartz. We have none of those. Smoky quartz we got lots of. It's not a great color though. It's kind of an orange. But whatever, we'll do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is, actually we're gonna cancel that. I got 2 gem workshops now. We're gonna go here, smoky quartz, cut and repeat. So they're gonna cut all the smoky quartz and all the red spinels or red zircons that we have. And we've had a ton of red zircons through this dig. We've got a ton of those. Now, yeah, gem windows are fantastic. I'm pretty sure they add to the fort's value. Dwarves seem to like them, and they just look really cool. They are buildings though, so building destroyers can destroy them if they can get to them. Just be aware of that. But they make it look really cool, and that's important. All right, so I'm going to pop up Dwarf Therapist here real quick so that I can see how many gem cutters I've got. Okay, so I have 5 gem cutters of various quality. Sister Spurn is busy because he is our architect, but he's done. So let's actually put all of these jobs back on. And did he? No, actually he's not. I thought he was an architect. Oh well, it doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to commit that. He is our captain of the guard, though. He's a very sturdy dwarf. All right, good. All right, awesome. So now we've got 2 gem cutter workshops. They will be cutting 2 different colors of gems. So what we'll do, I think, is we're going to go up to, don't really have a hotkey to go there. All right, so we're going to do the top level in orange, and we'll do the bottom level in red. We're doing gem windows. So we've done gem windows throughout the fortress to give dwarves a view into the waterfall and the chasm and whatnot. It actually looks. I was playing around with this. So this is the orange that the smoky quartz gets. The red looks better, but I don't have enough. Although by the time we're done, we might actually have enough red zircons. We've got a ton of them. But anyway, so but we've been using these red zircons, and it's actually been really cool because if you look at this, if you go into our mock vision, which is a 3D renderer for Dwarf Fortress, makes it kind of look like Minecraft. This looks wild because they're all in a straight line, straight up and down. It looks really, really cool. So I've been very pleased with it. This temple has milky quartz glass gem windows. And we're going to do the same thing in the Architects Guild, only we're going to use orange at the top and then red at the bottom for kind of a sunset effect, I guess. And we're definitely doing a sunset effect. We're not doing it simply because that's all I have. So we're going to do smoky quartz. We have enough of that for this whole top level. Nope, that is wrong. Y. Smoky quartzes. Y. Smoky quartzes. Nope, that's wrong. Y. Smoky quartzes. Also black zircons, which would actually look pretty cool. I haven't played with those ones yet. All right, so that is the top level done. No, it's actually you can make. If you go into your build menu, you've got a gem window option. So gem window. capital Y. So glass window is Y, gem window is capital Y. All a gem window needs is 3 cut gems. And they don't even have to be of the same type. If you do a multi-gem window, it'll actually blink in the different colors. So it'll be gold, green, white, whatever. So yeah, it's the simplest way to do windows. Simplest way to do windows. And what we're going to do is we're going to start doing the channeling here. So we get because this is all the walls are smooth. We just have to make sure that we don't go too far, so that we don't get so that they can get the windows done. There we go. So that'll be one part of it. I know, right? They're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. So given the grandeur of this embark, and how spectacular the waterfall is, I figured the dwarves might want to look at it. So I built windows. Although apparently these guys don't rate windows. I guess I've never put windows on these bedrooms here, whatever. But one thing it doesn't do, though, it doesn't actually help them get happy thoughts from waterfalls, for instance. So these windows aren't really affecting their moods. They're not getting that waterfall bonus when they're sleeping. What you do in that case is you use fortifications. So these bedrooms here have fortifications. They get the happy thoughts while they're sleeping. So this guy sleeps in they sleep in a very wet bedroom during the summer. Speaking of which, this is so this bedroom was was Lord Datan. He was my one of my founding dwarves that died last stream. So due to an unfortunate meeting of rock and mind, so I'm gonna have to find somebody else for this bed, and I'm actually gonna free this bed because I don't want some random dwarf getting that. So we're gonna have to find somebody good for this. What is this? Pig fat. Sweet. I need more barrels, believe it or not. Jesus Christ, where are all my barrels? Okay, let's go into the manager. So we have this one, which I had amount of barrels available is less than 20. Huh. Interesting. So I'm not sure why all this stuff is not being stored in barrels. God, what a mess. I'm just going to make some more. New job. Nope. So JM manager, we're going to new order. We're going to do wooden barrel. And we'll do another 100 of those. Got lots of wood. No worries about that. In fact, we might want to go do some clear cutting down in the caverns just to make some room. We are going to need room for the beach resort after all, eventually. So, okay, so we've got one bridge done. I wonder, is it linked up already? Pardon me, I'm just flipping around a lot here, so just bear with me here. So it's not done yet. It's not this. Yeah, the caverns are a significant wood stockpile. There's no question about that. All right, we're looking good here. This bridge has worked out really well. I imagine it's pretty slick due to the amount of vomit that's on it, but oh well. And we are making. It doesn't look like it, but those dwarves are making a dent here as far as hauling this rock. They have a long way to go. A long way to go. So I'm just going to pop down here real quick to our rock pile, which is a long way down. There we go. And you can see they are definitely making headway into moving this stuff. The Strategic Rock Reserve. Stukos Ringfires has been elected to the position of Holy Oblivion of the Spry Communion. I don't think that's my guy. Again, I don't think that is relevant to us at all. Stukos. Great name. I love my Stukoses. So we have one Stukos. I don't think that's him, though. He's a mason. View unit. Nope. Stukos Wind Dream, so that's a different guy. I don't know why, but Stukos has always been my favorite favorite dwarf name. Okay, so we've got our fishermen. Those are unlocked. Good. You know, if I was talking about how I was going to build a fishing hole I could literally just build a bridge right here, because this is all going to be water. So it's really going to be easy. Very, very simple. All right, so we are getting, is that suspended again? I wonder. Yep, it is. So it looks like all of the rocks have been moved from this bridge. It's just really a matter of getting him down here to finish it. So we're waiting for architects. So yeah, we're still waiting for it to be done. I wonder if Toady will ever fix spontaneous declothing. I don't think it's spontaneous necessarily. I think a lot of times it's the military dwarves will strip because of uniform incompatibilities. But yeah, spontaneous declothing when they take off you mean when they take off their worn out clothes, you mean? Yeah? Because that is irritating. Clothes everywhere. And this door. Okay, so we've got the Galena door, Galena mechanism. I'm gonna just I don't know why this door is still even here, so I'm gonna just move it where it needs to go. Great, now we got a corpse down there too. Oh well. No, I don't know if there's anything logical about the way the clothing industry works in this game, but it is... oh, actually, speaking of which, in my manager, I have a great deal of work orders for clothing. But what I don't have is leather. I really am not making anything from leather. I make shoes. So I'm going to actually make a couple new ones here real quick to start making some clothing out of leather. I'm thinking the big ones are trousers and shirts, right? So we're going to make some tight leather pants for our dwarves. So we're going to go into new order. We're going to leather trousers. We're going to make 10. Okay. And then we're going to go here and put some conditions on this. So first of all, we're going to add an item condition. So the amount of trousers available is less than, number is, say, less than 5. So if we are down to 5 pants in our stockpile, we're going to make new ones. It's going to be checked every month. Whoops, sorry. Is less, sorry, I'm doing this wrong, less than 5. We're going to change this every month as opposed to every day. P and R will do a lot of that. I like leather boots and cloaks from military that tend to get nabbed by civvies first. P and R, yeah, I know. And then the reagent one, boom, done. In fact, yeah, that's actually cloaks and hoods are actually really good, so we'll do that. And P is, yeah. So if they have less than 5 trousers and there's at least 10 hides available, we're going to do this. They're going to do this one. I think actually that's a good idea. We're going to make a Q leather hood. We're going to make again 10, and we're going to go down here and do the same thing. So item, so add item condition. So P. Oh, there you go. that's actually a lot easier. Less than 10. So amount of hoods is less than 10. Reagent less than 10. Done. Boom. Done. That was sweet. Thank you, Salajander. That's a lot faster. It does the exact same thing, but a lot faster. And then we're going to do cloaks as well. So leather cloak. So we're going to go down here, conditions, P and R. And then we're going to do, oops, that's the wrong one. Shoot. is less than 10. Amount of cloaks, no, sorry, is more than 10. That's right. Is greater than 10. Amount of cloaks is less than 10. Okay. And we're going to do one more thing for shirts. Same thing for shirts. So we're going to do 10. And we're going to go here into conditions. We're going to do P and R less than 10. Sweet. And we're going to do that monthly. Yeah, and we'll set up some of the more obscure reagent. Yeah, I know. No, I knew the reagent one. I didn't know the product one. Which is actually, it's just exactly what I was setting up, only it's automatic, which is way, way better. Not as much of a problem with the leather goods, but in soap making, dyeing, and whatnot. Yeah, no, it is very cool. That is very, very good. But it, so yeah, that's basically exactly how all these other ones were set up, only I was doing it, setting up the product part manually. So that is a nice shortcut. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so let's go up to see how our dwarves are doing with their lovely new Architects Guild. So all our windows are in place. Let's just CPR right away and just if needed. Yep, that's pretty much all you got to do. That's sweet. So yeah, it eliminates the need for any kind of mod like workflow or anything like that, and it does the same job. All right, so okay, so what we're going to do here is, I think we're going to dig it out to, now I want to make some kind of interesting kind of staircase here, staircasey ramp thing. So we're going to do it a little differently than normal. I think what I'm going to do is have, so that, all of this will be dug out. And then we're going to do that dug out and that dug out. So the stairs will be kind of a little bit of a curve to the stairs, because these are architects, right? So they have to have something fancy. Okay. Stray bull has been slaughtered. Now, once this gets dug out, we'll poke holes for the windows and put some gem windows in there. We'll be good to go. And then hopefully we'll give the architects somewhere to chill out, hang out, and they can teach each other how to be less than bad. Because right now they're just bad. They're slow, that's for sure. Entrance flood too, so because I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, just wait for that to be done. But yeah, but raising the bridge at least has has removed the water issue that we are having. We still have a nice waterfall going on though, which is good. So this is working really quite nicely, I think. I think it looks really good. All right, so let's just take a wander around the tavern, or around the fort, and see what dwarves are doing. So who's this? This is Lycott Vudthar. He's an animal trainer. He's having dinner. I wonder if the architects aren't doing all your stone hauling. Yeah, well, I did have that turned off for my architects. If we go into therapist, architecture, we've got 3 architects in there. All their hauling jobs are turned off. So they should be working on it, but they're not. What is this now? We've got a ghost. We have a ghost, and the funny thing is, it's a vampire ghost, because we had a vampire in the fort who I needed to move because his bedroom was like right here in the middle of everything. So I had to move him. So I had him build a bridge or 2 streams ago. I had him build a bridge, and then we crushed him. So we didn't. I never actually memorialized him. So let's go do that right now. We did actually engrave a tablet for him, but we never placed it. So let's go and go to our crypt level and let's place that now. So Alt S is a slab. So we should have a nice memorial slab here for the Count. This is an exceptional granite memorial to the Count Atisserol. The slab reads, in memory of the Count Atisserol, born 103, went missing in the year 263, mayor of the Whiskered Whiskies 253 to 254, slayer of Esm Rincetongs, which was the dwarf he murdered. Great that we got that on his slab. Met his end in an unfortunate bridge accident. So there you go. So now that dwarf should go away, or that ghost should go away once that gets hauled downstairs. It's funny. I had never seen a ghost before in this fort. Hopefully he won't freak out too many. He seems to be kind of wandering around the level he died, which is good because there's no dwarfs that can get there anymore. So it doesn't seem to be really bothering anybody. Could probably leave him there and he would just kind of be a mascot. Alright, so I wonder if... So one of the problems is we have our architects, they do have other jobs, so let's double check on what they're doing right now. So I'm just going to have Dwarf Therapist open off screen. So we have 3 of them. The first one is Snailbane. So we're going to view him. Oops. And we'll see what his job is right now. Oops. Zoom. So he is doing military stuff. Okay. So that's not ideal. So he is in an individual combat drill. The other one we have is Romek. This guy, so he is storing an item he owns. And Kabuk. So the next one is okay, so he is doing what? He's in a temple. He's meditating. So they're busy not doing architecture, which is great. And the funny, and other than, yeah, so they're just doing the thing. So I think as Romenkal or Romenkanal is probably going to be our best bet. He's just hauling something he owns, but we're just waiting for them. So unless I cancel that job, I don't think... So he's just going to his bedroom to put some stuff away. So much dirty stuff. Look at these guys. Look at these dwarves. They're filth. So we'll follow this guy for a bit and see where he goes. Because he's probably the one that is going to end up being the guy who does this. Because the other 2 are doing... not necessarily more important things, but certainly more engaging things. He's got no job. 3 architects and none of them are doing the job. Is that can't be suspended? I don't think. Sorry, excuse me, guys. I'm just gonna go back down here and make sure that's not suspended again. Oh, it's okay. It's designed, and the mason is building it. Perfect. All right. So that was just me being impatient, I guess. Alright, so once that's done, we'll get it linked up. Both of the bridges will be linked up to the same lever, so they will be opened in unison. And I'm not changing this, but the fact that the top bridge is longer than the bottom bridge is going to annoy me when it comes down to it. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need a way onto these bridges in order to channel this out. So I'm going to construct ramps on either side of it here. Now, those ramps should allow us access on top of the bridge when it's raised, in order to get in there. Once it's raised, we can channel this out and prepare for the flood. Okay. So this is a Galena mechanism. Okay, he's got this. Our mason's got this job. Olin Stukostegel. Gotta love a Stukos. Whoa, that's another slaughter notification. I missed that one. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so now that's done. We're just about ready to go. Now, I'm thinking I should just speed this up a little bit. The dwarf hauling, or the rock hauling, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so let's see how our architect skill is coming. We should be dug out, I would think. Everything's dug out. Now we need to go and dig out our stone, or our windows. So dig here, we dig here, we dig here, and so on. We're going to have to, again, build another construction there. There we go. And now we're going to also remove all the ramps except for the ones that we need for the staircase. Alright, now we're going to just remove, oops, pardon me. We're going to end up removing that one and this one as well. So our stairs will be kind of curved around a little bit, so it gives us a nice look, and I think that's going to be really nice. And then, with any luck, the architects will gather in here and chat and get better, because they're like, I've got 3 of them. I've had tons of buildings, and they've never gained a single skill level, which is a little strange, but there you go. That music sounds rocking right now. I know it's funny. I've used this music ever since I started streaming. I've never actually gone through and listened to all of it, so I hope it's interesting. I hope it's good. I haven't listened to all of it yet. What I have listened to has been really nice, though. So what we're going to do, I want to go into routes. So we're going to designate building our traffic areas. I want to make sure, I don't like them kind of going this route. They're not following they're going the most efficient way. They're not going the way I want them to go. So we're going to set to here, high traffic area is going to come along here. And hopefully this will make the dwarves use the road as intended instead of being in the most efficient way possible. The dwarves aren't supposed to be efficient. They're supposed to be dwarfy. Follow the road. There we go. No. Sorry, R. No. Just normal traffic. There we go. So that should hopefully make them follow the road kind of the way I intended them to, as opposed to taking this little shortcut, which kind of looks weird. Let me know as well if the music is too loud or if the volume needs to be adjusted. Let me know, please. Alright, so we are doing well here. So this architecture It's just about done. We should have the gems should be cut for the windows, and we're ready. We're rocking and rolling. We do still have a few other things here though that we're tidying up. This has to go, and we have to do this tidying up kind of one square at a time, unfortunately, or else we will have someone fall to their death. All right, the bridges are done. The ramps are done. We are ready to rock and roll. So we are going to go up to our control room here. And we're going to choose this lever. Now this is already linked to our first bridge. So now it's Galena. And it is. So I'm trying to use this exact mechanism here, which is a Galena with that level of craftsmanship, I guess. So let's hope it picks it up. Once those bridges are up, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. All right, this has been a fun dig. I can't wait to see this fully finished, fully done. All right, so now we should probably build some statues for the architects. So let's go down to our metal crafter area. Now this area is one of the other projects I'm going to need to do. This area is a mess and it needs to be cleaned. We've got a bunch of random stuff in here. So I don't think we've got any silver bars left. We've got a ton of lead. So let's make some, like 3 lead statues out of here. So we're constructing a silver statue. But which is because there's are we out of charcoal maybe? I bet you we are. Actually, you know what, let's use the manager for this. First of all, let's check our stockpile. We're going to stocks, bars. We have 36 charcoal, okay. So we don't have, okay, so the problem is we don't have any more silver, so I have to smelt galena, I think, for that. So we're going to go into our smelter up here. We're going to cancel that, add smelt galena. Okay, that'll get some silver for these other statues that are doing. We're going to cancel the order. We're going to add new order for furniture, and we need 3 lead statues. Lead. Alright, so, and lead statue is where? Lead statue, okay. And we're going to do 2 on this one, and we'll do 2 on this one here. Now, we don't want them to be just anything, so we're going to go in and specify the image for them. Okay, so let's go here. What did I do? Lead statue. There we go. So details. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to relate it to our civilization. No, let's do relate it to site. Okay, so these statues will be related in some way to our site. And then the last one, I'm going to actually make. We're gonna glorify the one of our dead companions. Obviously, you could also set up a manager job to smelt galena and silver bars alone. Yes, this is true. I could also do that. Yeah, I could. And I could have, instead of just randomly doing 10 bars of it, I could very easily have set up a manager job to smelt more, because I have more than one smelter, which maybe would have been the smarter way to do it, but that's not the way I chose to do it in this case. But there you go. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. 100% right. So that is being tasked. Just looking to clean up here. It's taken them a while to move everything, but they are working on it. I almost obsessively use the manager though. I tried to use the manager as much as I can. now that I've really learned how to use it. But it's not I guess second nature to use it every single time. So quite a few of my jobs still get done the old-fashioned way when it's kind of a one-off thing. Okay, so we're doing well. So it is the 3rd month already. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we have. Actually, that's a good question. I think I may have actually forgotten to raise my bridge last time. So we may have some miasma or some rotten stuff flying everywhere. But we should actually get rid of all this stuff as well. So let's see what is the status of our bridge. So it's actually really hard to tell. I think the bridge is actually down right now. So we're going to pull the lever. It's going to flip up. Everything on top of it is going to get flung everywhere. And then what we're going to end up doing, I think, is dumping all this stuff. Dumping all this stuff and getting rid of it. Because the corpse pile is starting to pile up a little bit. We've also got another one down in near the cavern layer. I've got a second trash compactor right here. And that one's pretty full as well. So we should do this one as well. Alright, so we got a couple jobs going with for trash compacting. That's always a good thing to keep on top of. Too many extra things is not great for frame rate. Alright, so this is the pasture right now, which I might end up redoing at some point and moving them. They are running a little low on, it looks like they're running a little low on actual food. There doesn't look like there's a lot of cave moss there. I could also spread them out a bit. I mean, like I said, I have the entire cavern layer to work with. So I may want to spread the horses out. I may actually just get rid of the horses too, entirely. I don't need them. There's still a ton of them. I've got a billy goat that is someone's pet, not really very useful. Tons of stuff down here. Let's go down here and we're going to shear an animal. Got to keep up with the cloth industry, or else we're going to run out. So we're going to start this farmer's workshop is going to shear an animal. This one here is going to milk animals, so we can make some cheese. Because I do like cheese. I want to make sure dwarves are happy. Give them a variety of foods. All right, so we're looking pretty good here, I think. All right, so our bridges are done. Ramps are done. And let's see if it is linked up yet. Nope, not quite. Okay, we're working on it. So let's see if that. I'm really hoping they pick up this mechanism right here and use it, so that it's so it gets moved. But we're definitely making a dent in the rocks for sure. Lovely. Okay. So this bathtub I made a while back, and it works really well, but for some reason certain visitors go into it and never come out. So this visitor here, her name is Dag, and she is a wild boar woman, and she literally goes in there and just stays in the bathtub the whole time she visits here. It's a little strange, but oh okay. And we've also got a looks like a poet or in here as well, who just like chilling out in the water. It is we use that in order to get to our, or you have to go through that in order to get into the temple here, which has worked out pretty well. Bear with me 1 second. I just gotta go and take care of my dog. So I'm gonna let you follow this dwarf here. Now this is Ushrir. He is injured. He got one of our, I think he got a beating at one point, and his spine is broken, so he's crawling, so he's not going to go very fast. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Alright, so what does he have? What's he hauling, I wonder? He's tanning a hide, so he's bringing some leather to... Okay, cool. Stray sow skin. Very nice. Okay, awesome. Well, I hope that was entertaining. Okay, so let's see if our bridge is ready to go. Not yet. We're working on it. He's literally on the job right now, so we should see him hauling a mechanism to there or to that somewhere. Love watching a cripple crow with his sound skins. Well, you know, the crippled dwarves need their attention too. But yeah, we had a few issues with spines getting destroyed. So we had a couple of crawlers, but at least the dwarves are happy right now. This is a good thing. So we don't have a lot of issues. We do have there's a lot of puke in the fort. Like, look at those bridges. That was supposed to be a beautiful gold bridge, and it's just covered in vomit everywhere. It's just disgusting. So maybe a crawler burrow like a leprechaun. Well, you know, the one that you were following there, Ushrir, he's our leather worker, and he's been doing fine. He just moves slow. That's kind of all. And again, I just you know, I don't know why they're not picking this up, but I am going to not worry about it. Next time we do an auto dump, we will dump those ones. Same thing with all this stuff here. This stuff there's no reason why they shouldn't haul this, they just aren't. I mean, admittedly, there is a ton of stuff for them to haul. Like a ton of stuff for them to haul. So, we're just going to help them out a little bit. Oh, right. try that again. Could not move item, red sand. Why could we not move all that stuff, I wonder? Probably because it's... this corpse keeps getting moved around. It could be because they're... I found auto dump doesn't work if it's already under task sometimes. So, all right, should be just about ready to rock and roll here. I think they're making a huge dent in this rock pile that we got going on. Especially since we don't exactly have the most direct way to get there, because of course they have to go through here, up this ramp, across the bridge, all the way around. So they go down through here, up here to the left, up. They have to go all the way around and then back in order to get to, and then down these two staircases in order to get to the main floor. So it's not exactly the most direct route for a dwarf to get through. It's actually quite inefficient as far as that goes, but it was not really meant to be efficient, I suppose, not in that regard, anyway. So yeah, that's probably why it's taking a bit longer than it would have otherwise. One little ramp to make it more direct, and that would be a lot easier. Oh well, they're doing a great job. Got a ton of wheelbarrows. If we head down to the where our rock storage is. I don't have a hotkey for down here. This is a long way down, and you can see that we're making a ton of progress here. So once this gets done, once all this rock is hauled down here, we'll probably just lock the doors so that they don't have to worry about all this stuff, and that it won't impact our frame rate for looking for having the game have to calculate all that stuff. Okay, so is that linked up, I wonder? I didn't see anybody go and take a mechanism down over there. Let's find out. Nope, still working on it. I wonder who's doing this task. Let's find out. Let's go to our jobs and find out who's doing it so we can follow them. So store item, get provisions. We have a store item, dump item. Link a building to trigger. Alpina is doing it. She's actually a very interesting story. She earned her nickname. So I'm just going to go to the unit, and we're going to follow her. So there she is. She's hauling... So resume. There we go. So she's hauling the mechanism, and seemed a little confused. Oh no, she's fine. Okay. So she I don't even remember what she was doing. I think she was gathering wood up at the top of the cliffs outside, and she fell off. She got pushed off somehow. I think it was a were creature attack or something. I don't even remember what, but anyway, she got pushed off. So 20 Z levels down, and she got splashed into the river below. 20 Z levels down, and she climbed back up. It was amazing. So she was in the water. I thought, oh damn, she's dead. And she climbed up the sheer rock face, and yeah, she was totally fine. No injuries whatsoever. It was amazing. So I had to give her a nickname, because I've never seen anything like that. Normally, if a dwarf gets into the water, especially after a long fall like that, she's just dead. But Alpina, yeah, she climbed right back up. So I figured to give her some kind of mountainous nickname, because she's a absolute mountain crawler. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here with our traffic area. So we're going to designate a high traffic area here, because that actually worked really well on the other one. It seems the dwarves seem to be respecting it really well, and they're not taking these little shortcuts, and they're using it the way it should be used, because it actually is funny, because they're actually getting in each other's way because they're all wanting to take the same path around the corner, which I suppose is not really, that's the way I'd do it too, but it's not ideal as far as getting making them go where I want them to, or doing it the right way. But we're almost there. It's supposed to be a heavy one. She's moving pretty slow. Alright, so she is on her way to do this. So once this is linked up, I think this is the last one. I think she's done one already. Once this is done, we'll have, we'll raise them and get to work. Good times, good times. Alright, so what else can we do around here? What else can we could clean? We could clean. There's lots of stuff lying around everywhere. I don't want to spend too much time like letting the game, or with the game pause. I'd like to get this done before, doomsday. Alright, we also need to go and build our windows here. So we need to build a wall here. So we're back in our architect's room. The Architect's Guild, rather. So we're going to build a wall there so we can build our windows. Why? So we're going to build our gem windows here. Now we're going to build these out of, we need red ones. So we're going to build them out of zircons. I'm actually surprised we don't have that many. I'm wondering if they aren't being built somehow. Probably because my gem cutters are all busy hauling shit. Seems like everyone is doing that right now. So, but that's okay. We've got enough red gems. We'll be fine. Okay. So we'll have to do red spinels here, which will be the same thing. It's just a matter of it'll look different type of gem. And then we need to designate all of this for smoothing as well. So we'll go like so. So our architects can get their smoothing on. And there we go. Alright, let's get back down to the action of this mechanism being hauled very slowly across the cavern floor. So that's mud, yeah. Yep, of troglodyte blood. I have no idea where troglodyte blood would come from. Must have got washed off the architects who are building it. I've got more than a few troglodytes in the basement in cages. They're actually breeding down there. So, okay. Awesome. That is now done. So, it was probably anticlimactic. Just watching her get there. Nope, she's got to do another one. Oh, fuck. Hey, you could use that one. It's right there. There's something messed up with these, because there's no reason why this shouldn't get hauled. This shouldn't get used. I don't know what's going on with that. Because I can't even dump it. I can't even auto dump it. So, fuck. Okay, so that did actually work. So let's just get all this stuff and let's get rid of it all. Okay, I just want to move it out of the way so it's not in the way. Okay, there we go. So now we've got. Okay, good. So now that's out of the way. We don't have to worry too much about that. We'll just dump all those clothes. Okay, good. Good. So, all right. Now, one of the things I also wanted to do, now that we've got a really good, we've got a great military, we've got a great, or the military's good. I was planning on eventually going in. This is our world here, in case anyone doesn't know. I wanted to go and do some raiding at some point. This tower over here is where it's fenced gilt, and is one of the where a lot of our first of all, there's a ton of books there, which is great, and there's a lot of the undead conspirators that we were dealing with were coming from. So I was thinking of raiding them. I know they've got a ton of undead there. I've looked into it in Legends mode, but we should be able to handle it with the squads that we've got. So I think what we might want to do is go and send a raid out over there, and just to see what we can muster up. Eventually as well, I'm going to turn this whole upper level on the left-hand side into a temple complex as well, so that we can have, because we've got temples over on the right-hand side of the chasm, so it would be kind of nice to have them opposite each other, so you can see them, see the other guys in the better temple across the way through the windows. All right. Good. All right. So let's find this job. I just want to follow her. I just really want to get this done and get this flooded out, so that it can be finished. And then once we do that, we will have we'll be able to call it a day. My kids will be home from school in a few minutes. Inactive. Cutting red zircon inactive. Why is that inactive? Go to building. Why is that inactive? We must have. I know I've got jewelers. Okay, let's pop up Dwarf Therapist and take a look at it. Gem cutters. We've got a few of those. Let's see, what are they doing here? Gem cutting. Here we go. So we've got 4 gem cutters. Huh. What are their current jobs? They're hauling stones. That's the problem. Soldier. So one soldier, store item. Yeah, they're just all storing stuff. Okay, that's fine. They will get to it eventually, I'm sure. I know we got them. Where are they, I wonder? They're right there. Weird. Okay, I'm not sure why they're not doing those jobs yet, but oh well. Not the end of the world. So we need to find our blink building to a trigger. So she is going to get her next view unit. Go to unit and follow. Alright, so she's got the things suspended, the construction of a gem window. What the hell? Probably because there's a rock in the way. Which, of course... Oh, the age-old problem. Can't build a window, there's a rock in the way. So we want red spinels. So I'm going to need those gems cut at some point. Alright. So Architects Guild is just about done. We can actually make the guild itself, make the area itself. So we're going to go into our zones. We're going to choose flow, and we're going to place. So So now we're going to make this a meeting area. Assign location, guild hall, add location, craft guild hall. So we're going to find an architect's guild. Where would we find an architect's guild? If we have, I'm pretty sure we can do that. There it is, architect hall. We have no workers. All right. The flag of trumpets, that works for me. I'm good. So there's no workers because we have no one who actually identifies as an architect, but that's okay. Hopefully we're going to allow that. Let's go into locations, the flag of trumpets. We're going to change restriction to anybody can come here, which is nice. And then we'll also build the statues. We built building some lead statues. One of them is done. Good. And we can actually build silver. We've got some silver statues as well. And they were all relating to the same kind of thing. So we're going to build some silver statues here as well. Because why not? Perfect. Alright. So I'm going to, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be calling it quits for today, I think. We're going to be saving the big flood for next time. Alpina is right here, very, very slowly moving her way to where she needs to be with this mechanism. It's a long haul for her, I gotta say. And unfortunately, she's dizzy as well from being out in the sun. So sadly, she's probably going to take a while to get where she's going. So I think we'll pick this up again next time. I will be streaming next on Sunday afternoon. So if you want to swing by and join me then, I would be grateful to see everybody. I've been having a great time with this. This fort has been been wonderful. Been a wonderful fort for me to play. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the final Great Flood. But I don't think we're going to get to it today. We've got a lot of stone that still needs to be collected before we can do this. Okay, so she is... Where are you going? Oh, I see what she's doing. Okay. There we go. And that should be done. So, let's pause it for a second here. So, entrance flood is linked up. So now we're going to pull the lever. We're going to pull that now. And we're gonna raise this up before we call it a day here. So once this is done, once those are raised, let's watch somebody come here. This is our lever right there. So excuse me. So someone should be coming to pull it momentarily. There we go. Flip. Now bridges should raise, and hopefully that all worked. Uh-oh. Guess what I did? I made this one retractable. Fucking hell. So entrance flood 2 worked perfectly. Entrance flood 1 does not. Son of a bitch. Okay. So we're going to pull that lever again. I'm going to rebuild that first one. Son of a bitch. I screwed up. Okay, so once that's done, we will be calling it quits for the day. We'll fix all this tomorrow or on Sunday. We'll get her all done and taken care of. This is why you test things before you start flooding. That could have been bad. Okay, so the bridges are back down. We're going to deconstruct entrance flood 2 and build it properly. All right. So that's going to be it for me for today. I appreciate everyone who stopped by, everyone who hung out, everyone who was chatting with us, and everyone who was lurking as well. If you haven't already, please remember to toss me a follow. It helps the channel tremendously and is always appreciated. I'm going to find and see Saljander again. You're awesome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being so active in chat. I'm going to try and find us someone to raid. Who's playing right now? No one I follow, not in this anyway. 2 seconds here. Does anyone have somewhere they want to go? Dr. Spoof was good DF the other day. Dr. Spoof. Well, you would definitely know, Saladin. You seem to know every Dwarf Fortress streamer that there is. So yeah, we'll send you over to Dr. Spoof. Perfect. I had not actually seen him before. So, again, thank you everyone for coming by. It's been really, really appreciative for everyone hanging out, and it's been a great time. So take it easy, stay dwarfy, and we'll see you on Sunday. Take it easy.